the projects, I think services, training is all under UTSB. So we don't do that. Kita tak clash. And then kita ada UTM Space. Okay, UTSB, I think revenue-wise nanti dia akan share. I think usually about 8-10 million profit revenue a year, right? So that is his business. And then kita ada UTM Space. UTM Space. Kita ada college space. So that is on the education sector. So I think most of you also have your own private institution, kan? UIA, ada your own, UITM, you have your own, and many others have your own. But it's under holdings, I suppose, kan? So macam UTM lain sikit, kita is under UTM Space. So all education businesses goes under this anak syarikat lah. And then kita ada UTM, or GTEAM, GTEAM. So GTEAM ni is a company that is responsible to develop startups, especially for the research punya projects. Kan, kalau kata kita punya pensyarah ada some collaboration with the industry, so kita nak ada collaboration. So university will help to start up this company via this vehicle. So dia tak kacau holdings. So holdings will be focusing, UTM Holdings will be focusing more on property management, property development, big joint ventures, monetization of assets, facilities management, signing any joint venture agreements, and those are the big ones. So those are being taken over by the company that I'm managing at the moment. So kita ada 4, lain sikit. Itu sebab kalau macam kita submit kita punya total revenue to KPT, kita memang top, kita 11 lah. Nombor 11, kecil. Kita holding 18 to 22 million a year. UTSB about 8-10. Biggest is actually UTM Space. UTM Space is doing about 46-47 million a year revenue. So kalau kita cabur-cabur tu ada dekat 80 million a year. Tapi bila kita report, we only report I punya lah, sebab dia tak UTM Holdings. So there are certain advantages and certain disadvantages lah kalau kita nak tengokkan dari segi management, right? I think I'm sure lejap lagi nanti kita bincang. Because kita pun ada bincang on our university level lah. I mean, why do we need to segregate? And you have 4 CEOs, you have 4 board of directors, right? You have 4 different businesses that you do, and you have 4 different auditors, 4 different company secretaries. There's a lot of duplication of costs, right? So kalau kita combine and merge everybody, then you have a better cost-effective management lah. Maybe lah. That's one of the disadvantage that we have right now. Tapi the advantage part is then we can make sure that the business is focused. So I think that's maybe true because all the 4 companies, all performing, all are in the black. Betul? GTEAM? Itu sikit. Sebab GTEAM ni dia tak boleh nak gauge kan, because dia baru startup apa semua. UTSB, black all the while. UTM Space of course lah, cash surplus kan. The cash cow is always UTM Space. UTM Holdings, 3 something, 4 million last year. And nak bayar tax ni problem ni. So anyway, so that is a bit about the structure of holdings under UTM lah. So I think later on maybe we can share more experience dengan all you all. So thank you very much for coming to this seminar today. So kita punya tajuk kita business turnaround strategy, kita ada 3 jam. I have a slide that we have to go through, tapi I think this is more like a sharing session lah. I think most of you are all leaders, so I think we can focus on actually what are in the first part of the morning ni. I think before kita punya break 10 setengah kan. So kita ada dalam 1.5 jam lah nak borak dengan you all ni. So I punya focus is more on how to recognize what is the definition of a leader. Kan, leadership. And later on we're going to talk about the challenges of being a leader in relation atau in respect to UTM Holdings ataupun you punya holdings company or you punya university environment, how do you actually manage kita punya bosses kan? Kalau orang tanya kita, say, man, apa bos tu? Payah nak jawab kan, bos ramai. Kita ada our own board of directors, we have our JPUs, kita ada kita punya LPUs, kan? Tak masuk lagi dekan, profesor, semua bos. So kita nak manage all this supaya kita boleh dapat easier decision making process lah. So benda tu nanti kita akan, that is part of leadership. Macam the role that we play or how we can actually get the support from the universities. So thank you very much. Nanti I pergi to the slide sekejap. I think before that, boleh kita introduce ourselves. Kita start from ni lah meja ni. John. Tuan, tolong. Just quickly kita go through, at least I know.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera.
Thank you.
Nama saya Abang Eksan, Abang Osman. Daripada Unimas. I'm an academician. Tapi baru dipinjam secara sepenuh masa. Baru 1 bulan ni tadi.
I think last time we have Mr.
Dulu Mr. Eng.
Mr. Eng, right? Mr.
Ya.
Eng.
So saya dipinjam sepenuh masa, whichever is earlier, because retire next year. Yeah. So I'm
quite, 1 year lah, pinjam.
So I'm quite new to the holding lah. So
Mungkin dia boleh sambung lepas tu.
it depends on the.
Okay, Bawan, terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Cik Kamel. He's actually my schoolmate. My name is Azhar. I've just joined UiTM Holdings. I head the technology division since early May. So this is my 2 months.
Ingat Mas Saleh mana hari datang tengok orang Penang. My schoolmate tu kat Malay College.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Chandra, currently heading the Entrepreneurship Institute in Universiti Utara Malaysia. Institute, where we develop student entrepreneurial students, and we are looking at how we can get lecturers to go into startup.
It's a revenue center.
We are not revenue center.
No,
We are not into it.
Assalamualaikum. Good morning. I'm Hijat from Universiti Utara Malaysia, Director Business Strategy and Development. Satu jabatan di bawah universiti, antara lain sebagai platform antara company dengan universiti. Jadi apa-apa formality yang perlu dibuat antara company dengan universiti akan diuruskan oleh jabatan saya, termasuk penilaian. Assessment is done by the financial assessment. No, I'm an accountant.
Accountant lah. Yeah, nampak macam lawyer lah.
Yeah, thank you.
Betul. Dia ada accountant dan orang lawyer. Okey, Mas.
Terima kasih.
Hello, Assalamualaikum semua. Nama saya Wan Muhammad Azilan Haji Adnan. Saya daripada UMT Jaya Holdings Sdn Bhd. Saya adalah merupakan CEO untuk UMT Jaya.
Terima kasih, Iwan. Ni ada mic kan? Okey, sinilah. Kita tekan sekejap. Pakai mic tu.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat pagi. Nama saya Muhammad Zainat. Saya Business Development Manager daripada Universiti Holding Sdn Bhd. Itu saja.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya Muhammad Rosli bin Haji Ujang, CEO Universiti Holding, menggantikan Tuan Haji Nazri. Hampir sebulan, 3 minggu baru. 3 minggu.
3 minggu? Ya.
Wow,
Boleh ni. Sebelum ni mana-mana sorry?
Daripada ELC.
Ya, GLC.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya Muhammad Isyam Ahmad daripada UKM Holdings. Saya in charge on financial matters of all the group for the UKM Holding lah.
Terima kasih. Subsidiary.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya Hassan Yaakob. Saya daripada UKM Holdings basically, but attached to UKM Kesihatan. jaga finance and corporate services.
Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. Nama saya Badru Hisham. Saya daripada UKM Holding juga. In charge on Hospitality Business Unit, which is ada Puri Pujangga Seram Berhad. Terima kasih.
Ni grup UKM meja ni. Seorang je.
Okay, Assalamualaikum, selamat pagi. Saya Faizal Saidin, person in charge for the UKM Unipack, subsidiary of UKM Holdings.
Assalamualaikum dan selamat pagi. Saya Haliza Yunus daripada UKM Holdings, tapi saya di UKM Kesihatan, based di HUKM Ceras. Kami manage the private wing of HUKM, UKM Specialist Center. Dan kita ada a few outlet lain untuk medical, education, retail business, untuk poliklinik, farmasi, implant dan optometri. Okay.
Kenapa? Saya Yusak. Sabar, orang sabar. Orang jauh ni. Handsome lah.
Good morning. Salam sejahtera. My name is Yusak Kemperis. I'm the Group GM for UMS Investment Holdings. And two of my colleagues is here. Basically, UMS Investment, now we have refocused to 3 business clusters. Basically, tourism and hospitality, education, training and consultancy, and property and services. And I'm glad this morning because my former boss, Mr. Wan, is here. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Very good morning. Nerwani Sherin Halik. Saya in charge Business Development and Marketing Department. UMS Investment Holdings.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and a very good day. My name is Amy Nadia. Saya in charge bahagian business development UMS Investment. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, selamat pagi. Saya Wan Nur Ibtisam. Saya ni orang AKEPT lah, tuan rumah. Okay.
Assalamualaikum and very good morning. Nama saya Zulaika daripada UMK Business Venture. Saya in charge bahagian business development.
Alright, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. I'm Zarifa Abdullah from Universiti Utara Malaysia. I'm now the director of the Institute of Management and Business Research, where we conduct research on case studies in relation to the the industry as well as the academician. All right, thank you.
So you under TNCPI, under Innovation and Research University.
Yes.
Oh, Dato' Wahan, semua nak kenal lah.
Assalamualaikum. Nama saya Naharudin daripada IIUM Holdings. Saya ditugaskan untuk mengendalikan kumpulan IIM Holdings. Saya datang di sini untuk menuntut ilmu dan belajar bagaimana kita nak mengemudikan syarikat saya. Walaupun we have already turned around the business, but I think we have reached a stage where we are plateauing and there must be a new drive to see a resurgence of the business to a higher level. So mudah-mudahan saya dapat menimba ilmu untuk menolong syarikat IIM Holdings.
Datuk Naha yang conduct seminar ni.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Faiz Osman. I'm basically from IIUM Advanced Technologies, a subsidiary under IIM Holdings. So basically we cater the tech adoption portfolio and also research commercialization. With me, I have my colleague Azizul and Ruslan.
Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat pagi. Saya Muhammad Sfino bin Muhammad Yamin, wakil daripada syarikat Daya Bersih Sdn Bhd. So Daya Bersih Sdn Bhd ni one of the subsidiary of IIUM Holdings Sdn Bhd. So our business in facilities management. So if you do require anything or information or FMS, boleh dengan saya. Terima kasih.
Sekaya bersih.
Daya bersih.
Oh, gaya bersih.
Daya. Berdaya bersih.
Berdaya bersih. Bagus.
Assalamualaikum. Nama saya Muhammad Iswandi bin Abdul Aziz. Saya daripada IIUM Properties Sdn Bhd dan anak syarikat pada IIM Holdings. So saya head untuk project and development punya division lah.
Datuk Yusof kan?
Under Datuk Yusof. Terima kasih.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Nama saya Khairul Anwar bin Ma'amin. Basically I come from Universiti Malaysia Terengganu. So right now I seconded to UMT Jaya Holding di bawah Cik Wan, CEO tadi. I'm in charge for the business development and commercialization. So we have like many product in university and we try to commercialize. Saya rasa banyak universiti pun sama juga sebab kita ada banyak produk tapi tak berjaya di commercialize. So that's the function of the holding lah. Alright, thank
tough
you.
job.
Tough job.
Ya, tough job.
Assalamualaikum, saya Muhammad Zaki bin Ramli daripada UUM Holding. Saya in charge business development dan group special project.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat pagi. Saya Muhammad Sabri Said daripada USAIN Holding Sdn Bhd, anak syarikat pada Universiti Sains Malaysia. Saya in charge Head of Business Development. Terima kasih.
Geng-geng utara ni. Ya,
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi. Saya Rozi Lebai Karim dari UUM Holding, acting group CEO, take over for last 6 months. Terima kasih.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi. Saya Farid Wajidi, Group MD daripada USAIN Holding Sdn Bhd.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya Saudin bin Sulong daripada UMP Holdings, tapi saya jaga satu anak syarikat UCT Sdn Bhd untuk konsultasi IT training dan juga BIM. We lead dalam BIM Malaysia, CIDB dan JKR. Nak cari projek dengan BIM, carilah saya, carilah Tuan Syed saya. Untuk lead insyaAllah bangunan MBKT, kita involve dengan bangunan MBKT, buat projek, real projek MBKT. Projek dekat Melaka, new coming projek di mana? Di Politeknik, di Bagan Datuk. BIM we involve. Dan ada few projek di Petronas di Pengerang, insyaAllah we involve. Itu saja sedikit insyaAllah.
Bagus, dia siap marketing ni. Sempat 30 saat tu boleh tahu apa semua you buat. Bagus. Syed.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat pagi kepada semua. Saya Syed Muhammad Hamzah Al-Junid bin Syed Abdul Rahman, merupakan grup CEO UMP Holdings Sdn Bhd. Ya, jadi bersama klik saya kan, Encik Saudin, ya. Nak promosi ke?
Dah kenal lah. Thank you tuan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya Reza Helmi bin Azmi. Saya dari Business Development UTHM Holding Sdn Bhd.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat pagi. Nama saya Muhammad Fahmi. I'm the director of Asia Aeronautical Training Academy, a new flying school yang di-establish bawah UTHM Holdings lah. Terima kasih.
Dia punya base kat mana?
Base kita ada 2 tempat. Our ground school facilities will be in UTHM. At the moment we are running our flying training di Senai International Airport. So hopefully within 3 years time when our Tanjung Labuk Airport siap, we will be running in Tanjung Labuk Airport lah.
Who's the new CEO now?
Sorry?
UTHM Holdings.
Holdings Managing Director is Prof. Wan. Prof. Wan, ya.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya Hamzah bin Abdul Wahab, pengurus grup UTHM Holding. Dan sini saya sampaikan salam daripada Managing Director saya, Prof. Wan Fauziah, dia tak dapat datang kerana insyaAllah dia akan flight ke Mekah pada 15 hari bulan ni.
Oh.
Itu saya dapat datang hari ni. Terima kasih.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Nama saya Muhammad Rafi Naim, Business Development dari UTHM Holding Sdn Bhd.
Terima kasih. Bos.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya macam Kamal sebut tadi daripada UTM. Saya anak syarikat yang sama taraf ke sama.
Dia lagi awal.
Yang awal tu kita orang tapi kita ada arrangement sikit. So saya Hafizi Madani, Unit Teknologi Sdn Bhd, fokus on consultancy dan juga total solution semua perniagaan di UTM. Thank you.
Terima kasih.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi. Saya Rushihan Marikan daripada UMK Business Venture Sendirian Berhad.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi. Saya Hazim Halin daripada UITM Holding Sdn Bhd. Saya Head Group Corporate Development.
Terima kasih. Oh, ni senior saya.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good morning. I'm Nabi Haizani from UTM Holdings. So come with my CEO.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. Saya Nik Ahmad Fikri Nik Ismail, CEO UTM Holdings Sdn Bhd. Hari ini kami bersama dengan our COO yang in charge of our property division. Datuk Naha cakap tadi kehadiran beliau adalah kerana untuk menuntut ilmu sebab dah plateauing. We are here to reach menuntut ilmu to reach the plateau. We have not plateauing yet. So that's the difference between
plateau tak
we
sampai
and IUM Holdings. Sekian, terima kasih.
Aduh.
Assalamualaikum and very good morning. Saya Razmin Ramli. Saya currently Director of Innovation and Commercialization Center in charge of IP management and registration of the Universiti Utara Malaysia and the commercialization activities. So of the IPs, of course. And I would love to hear success stories from this real business to help us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. Very good morning. I'm Siti Adida Abdullah, coming from IUM School Sdn Bhd, which is under IUM Holdings, under our group CEO Datuk Naharudin. I represent my school on behalf of Tuan Haji Kaharudin, my CEO. We are business in the primary, secondary schools. We have two education segment, the National Secondary and Cambridge syllabus. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So we covered everyone, eh? Ada yang belum, sorry, one more. Sorry, sir.
No problem. Hi, hello, good morning. My name is Mah San Piu.
Mr. Ma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the financial controller from UM Holdings Sdn Bhd. I'm actually counting money.
You're a chartered accountant.
You're
a chartered accountant.
I think we have four major division. We have university running a college, University of Wales. We also have Specialist Center. So we have all our doctors practicing in private clinics. We also have Properties, and also I call it others, that actually commercialization of some of the research work by the
UIM Wales is also under you.
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
so a huge holdings company. So give a round of applause to everyone. I'm actually quite scared now. Coming out. Sebab pintu ke depan, kalau belakang, I think I'm gonna run away. So I'm overwhelmed actually to be part of this seminar together with all the great leaders, group CEOs, top management from universities. I think today we can try our best to get the best of this seminar. Actually to tell you the truth, I'm also masa saya buat slide ni, kan, aku rasa macam jauh ni nak jadi great leader cerita tu. I'm here now to tell you how to become a great leader. So I'm not telling you how to become a great leader. So I think we have to get this right first. We actually want to share. So hopefully everybody can contribute. Nothing is right or wrong here. Kita cuma nak have a proper guideline and to set a standard on how we're going to change our leadership skills or our leadership ways, or how we're going to lead the team. What does it take? Or what are our challenges, and how we're going to, at the end of the day, be a leader that, we want our leaders to be. Kan? Kalau kita nak boss kita macam tu, that's how we should be, right? And it starts with the whole organization. It's not just us. I mean, the leader is not like one person. We have sub-leaders, we have, leaders under the leaders. So everyone must be here to actually improve every single day, kan? Whatever, nothing is static lah. Kalau hari ni kita cerita, besok mungkin the modus operandi dah tukar. Kan, there might be a better way of doing things, right? So kita ada, dah save 1 hour. Wadai kat aku dah. Cepat kan, sekejap lagi lah. Alhamdulillah. Okay, kita rush through now. The nature of leadership. Okay, you guys are all leaders, big leaders, kan? Kita nak rasa what is the meaning of leadership? I think everybody knows what is the meaning of leadership. There's four definitions. One is the process. What leaders actually do. Kan, leaders ni kadang orang kata senang kan, kita letak, kita jadi boss kat situ, kita just give instructions. It's not really, kan, everybody knows that. So kita kena use non-cohesive way on how we're going to shape our organisation. We cannot force or we cannot trap people. Yeah, you don't do this, and you can be sacked. Or you don't do this, that goes your bonus end of the year. And kita kena bagi tahu dengan kita punya staff, this is the expectation of the board, or this is the objective or your KPI. And so how are you going to get it done by end of the year? Kan? Kita memang boleh force je kan. Aku nak report ni besok siap. Biasalah, yang pernah buat yang tu kan. Kita pun tak ada choice. Right? But kita kadang-kadang tak bagi tahu dia macam mana nak siapkan benda tu. Kan? Kita suruh dia siap tapi kita tak cakap dia macam mana nak siapkan benda tu. Or at least we should tell them how we want it to be done. Kan? Kadang-kadang kita silap. Bukan kita silap. Bukan apa, tak cukup masa kan. Kita nak explain lebih-lebih. Kan? Besok kita ada meeting, lusa ada meeting, anak report malam ni. Tapi kalau kita cerita kat dia, okay, report ni tajuk dia, kita bagi dia guideline, maybe it's easier for them to actually achieve those goals lah. And then kita pun kena be a motivator. I think this is one thing that I use a lot lah in my way of having being the top management. So I always motivate, kita pun inspire our managers especially lah kan. I ada 4 managers. I'll make sure that managers are motivated because dia orang kena motivate orang bawah. Kita nak motivate semua tak boleh kan. Kita motivate our managers. We have to tell them or we delegate them, make sure they have a better understanding on the importance of the things that they have to do on daily basis. Kan? Macam daily basis ni punya kerja dah given actually lah kan. Everybody dah ada SOP masing-masing. Everybody dah ada kerja masing-masing. When we don't have SOPs, that's where we are stuck at the same place. To tell you the truth, I pun realize this because when we do more businesses, there's always new processes, right? And we assume everybody knows the process. But if we don't have a SOP in place, so people do things with non-consistency, like tak ada consistency. I mean, there's no policies on, okay, today, your job, every week you have to do this reporting. On daily basis, you need to do this exercise. Kan? Tak ada. Benda tu dah ada. Because what we are expecting our staff or our head of divisions to do is out of that SOP. And SOP is given lah. You are paid to do that job. Right? Kita dah ada that rod. Macam setemak. Every month kena keluar report. By what date? 7th? Huh? 20th lah? Oh, yeah. I asked 14, which I never get lah actually. So 20th, more reasonable date lah actually. Aku minta 15, lepas tu tak dapat. Yeah, 20th group lah. Group or just holding? I never get my consolidation account every 15. Tapi dia salahkan orang lain bawah tu lah sebab tak bagi dia input kan. So those are, for example, he needs to give the top management the report every 20th. So that's his job, right? So it's not something outside of his job scope. So kita kena motivate dia untuk buat kerja lain. For example, I want him to give statistics on, see, every month, for example, I tell my staff, kan, kita nak my staff to tell me not the occupancy of my hotel, for example, our occupancy rate. Because I know, I can guess every month is the same. I can gauge already. Kan? But I want to tell them what does it take to increase that occupancy rate. Kan? Dia bagi tahu okay, kita hari ni my hotel bulan lepas 47, bulan ni 52. So apa benda? Kan? Aku boleh agak benda tu kan. You tell me why it drops, and next month macam mana kita nak naikkan. or what do you need from me to help you to get that. And my job is to help you. So our job basically is to help them to define their organization structure. So this is the culture that kita boleh inculcate in our organisation lah. It's a very important culture lah, because kita dah start a culture. Sometimes different to change the culture, but if we impose it slowly, then it will change gradually. So everybody knows their work, everybody knows their responsibility. Yeah, also it becomes a natural culture. Yeah, nobody can say you kat kerja hari ni. Tak ada. Your staff can come to you and say you come to me, tak ada lagi lah. Ini bukan kerja ni, kan? Tak ada. They will try. You don't have mechanical engineer, mechanical engineer, 50 plus. Sekarang ni, the main job is property agent. Dia mula top lah residency tu, dia project management. And then he takes care of the tenants. So sekarang ni, I want you to get this tenant. Saya cakap semalam yang kita pasal residency kan. We don't think that we want this tenant in. We salah those tenants. What do we brainstorm, kita nak ni McDonald's, kita nak KFC. McDonald's, Burger King. Of course McDonald's dulu kan, gagal. Burger King second, dapat. Kan? Kita nak Subway ataupun Roti Boy ataupun apa nama satu lagi tu. There's one more something like Subway from Australia, barunya brand. Tak dapat, bukan tak dapat. Tapi dia nak bagi kat franchisee tu 1 million franchisee fee. So franchisee fee tu macam shit, mahal gila kan. So tak jadi. So kita identify, kita nak KFC or Texas chicken. KFC first. It took 1 year to get KFC. Ya, macam orang kata, KFC macam mana dapat guys now. Kita kena motivate our staff tu to go up. Dia tak boleh lah sampai manager level, gagal lah kan. So kita pergi, jumpa Dato' NC, saya cakap I think let's go and see the MD lah. So jumpa lah, KSR semalam kan. Kita jumpa Dato' Azhari, present terus kat MD lah. Ya, kalau kita nak kan, kita jumpa lah dia. So kita actually, we have a very good chance, opportunity to go and meet the top. So kita university, they always give us the opportunity. Even the authority, that's one thing that we have to realise kan. Kalau kita rasa kita nak jumpa MD QSR, he will give us that time. Kita jumpa, kita present terus lah. MD kata apa gila ke dia ni tak it's non-brainer kan. Apa masalah kan? Dia datang sendiri kat next week. Lepas 2 bulan sign agreement terus. Because sometimes it's not easy to convince the manager level. Easier to convince the boss. Kan kadang-kadang kan this little Napoleon kadang-kadang susah. So those are the culture lah. If you want it, kita kena go and get it. Kan? Then bila kita dah dapat the few big names dalam, yang lain tu akan datang lah cepatlah. Now we have Guardian tu, yang lain tu semua dapat. Get the big guys in first lah. It's easy. So these are the culture lah yang kita nak inculcate dalam kita punya the meaning of leadership. Lepas tu property, who are leaders? Ni I think semua orang kat sini ada that kind of attribute. I'm sure you are you are what you are right now. I think everybody has done the great job, better than UTM. Some of you are like you have hospital, ada pendidikan, ada macam-macam kan, property. So these are the perception. You know, sometimes when you want to become a leader, right? Macam for me lah, I just take example. Kita orang baru masuk dalam holdings. For me, it's how they're going to perceive you as a leader, right? You have to portray your stand or your principles. Macam mana you want to people to look at you, right? So you have to gain the trust, kan? It's not easy. Macam saya cakap tadi, if orang tanya dia, bos tu siapa? Susah nak jawab kan? Of course, we report to the chairman of the board, right? But there's a lot of bosses kan. Dato' NC pun bos kita, TNCP pun bos kita, boleh masuk WhatsApp group semua profesor pun bos kita, kan? Pejabat harta bina yang jaga bangunan universiti pun bos kita. We have to report to too many bosses kan. Cakap macam mana nak buat ni kan? Macam mana nak buat ni kan? So we have to pick and choose. So we have to gain the top level trust. We have to understand their inspiration, their vision. Kan? Kita jangan shock sendiri kan. Kita nak tahu kita punya, wah nak buat ni, nak buat ni. Kita atau orang lain cerita lain, kita cerita lain bawah. Tak boleh. Kan? So kita kena faham kita punya our stakeholders vision, our board's vision, so that then kita correlate dengan dia orang vision. Kan? Kita kena make sure that kita support their vision. Kan? Kita boleh tambah nilai lah, kita boleh make sure that we do better, higher than what they expect. Then you gain their trust. Kan? If you do it fast, if you do it effectively, you get things done, you get their trust. So once you get the top bosses trust, nanti kita senang. The rest will follow. And the rest will just follow because they know, kan, bosses semua dah they have confidence in your leadership. They know they have. If you give them a project, everybody semua nak cakap sekarang aku nak siap semalam, kan? Biasalah, kan. Kita tak tahu. Memang I understand the bureaucracy, the process you have to go through to get approval. It's not easy. Kita orang masuk kalau nak bincang pasal satu projek lah, just bagi tahu hospital contoh 4 kali masuk dalam board. LPU board, not my board sekali je boleh handle lah. LPU board 4 kali kan. 9 orang. MOF, KPT, representative from UTM, semua nak bercakap kan. Dapat 2-3 soalan aja. My chairman, Tan Sri Alim, sometimes these leaders they want unanimous decision. Sometimes we have a bold leader who can actually just they want everybody to say yes, then only he sign. Itu yang susah tu kan. So I understand lah. So kita kena ada trust. If we have trust, they all know that when you talk kan, dia ni boleh percaya kan, and they will trust you to execute the job. So it's easy. Oh, bateri. Macam ni bateri. Tahu bateri pun dah boring lah. Cepat sikit lah. Okay, attributes. Okay, actually influencing. So kita ni, bila kita ada kita punya own vision kan. The leaders, everybody has their own style kan. Aku tak cakap aku punya style bagus. You punya style bagus. Semua style kita ada kita punya own style of management, leadership. Tapi, we have to be influencer kan. Kita kena influence our staff, our management to believe in our vision. Kan? Kita kena influence dia lah. Kalau kita pun tak boleh nak influence, macam mana kita nak expect them to follow what you say? Right? So lepas ni kita akan tell you how to become a motivational or a transformation leader. So that's very important lah. A leader is just a leader. But you have to actually transmit. Because leader ni, if you say you're a leader, what is actually a leader? A leader is not a person who wants to lead that place forever. Oh, that's the wrong concept. A leader is someone who can actually train or actually make a leader so that you can leave that place and go to a better place. That's a leader, kan? Kalau kita rasa kita nak jaga tempat tu forever, I think lah, personally, I think that is not the right way of thinking. Kan? Macam kita fikir 5 tahun, wherever lah, we can go to a better place. But I'll make sure my 4 managers ni becomes better. Whatever, doesn't he follow my style of leadership or dia punya style, tapi it has to be at least better than what they are now so that they can lead. They can lead. Okay, kita nak cut short sikit, kita boleh dengar video sikit tak? This is a good video I found from the YouTube actually. It's a very good video. Ada voice. This is the 7 traits of a leader. Ada banyak lagi lah, but I think this 7 is very important. So we can look at it together.
Wherever you are, leaders are important. Whether it's to lead powerful organizations or just to make sure a group of friends are having a good time. Here are the 7 traits that all great leaders possess. Number 1, they radiate positive energy. There is nothing more important in a team than passion and the will to succeed. And having a positive leader is an important part of that. Sometimes I sign onto Facebook and I see these status updates that just reeks of negativity. These people are not good leaders. And more often than not, they are not very successful either. Great leaders radiate positive energy. Not only does that make them more likable, leading to more trust, It also boosts the team's morale. And countless studies have shown a positive relationship between team morale and productivity. Number 2, they have a proactive attitude. When something goes wrong, it's easy to blame someone else or to find out why it happened immediately. But great leaders put that aside. They shift their focus entirely on solving the problem. I used to be in charge of the takeout service at the restaurant I worked at. So basically, people would call to make their order, and my job is to make sure everything is packed and given to the right person. It was a really busy restaurant, so mistakes weren't that uncommon. This one time, after a customer came to pick up his food, I realized that we forgot to pack part of his order. I was fairly new at the time, and I didn't know what to do. But luckily, one of the owners of the restaurant was there, so I explained to him what happened. He didn't blame me. He didn't even ask how it happened. Instead, he told me to call the customer, apologize for what happened, and then tell him that we will personally deliver the missing part of his order to his house. At the end of the day, the owner sat down with me to talk about how we can prevent something like this from happening again, but he did it at the end of the day, not when the problem was still unresolved. Great leaders know what to focus on at any given point in time. They are proactive. Number 3, they delegate tasks completely. Great leaders realize that they can't do everything themselves, so they focus on the most difficult tasks and delegates the rest to others. Let's say you make more than $30 an hour, yet every week you still spend several hours cleaning your house and doing the laundry. Considering a maid costs around $30 an hour, you might decide it's worthwhile to hire one to do your housework for you. When I first started delegating my work to others, I was hesitant because I knew that I could probably do a better job than the person I'm assigning it to. For example, a maid might put your clothes in the wrong drawer every once in a while, but you should still hire her because the extra time you get to work on more valuable tasks generally outweighs the negatives. Delegating also means fully trusting your team to do the task without micromanaging their every move. Great leaders delegate tasks to others and trust them to get the job done. Number 4, they are approachable. A great leader is one who their teammates could see themselves approaching whenever they have a concern or when they simply need someone to discuss things to. When Sam Walton opened over a dozen Walmart stores, he was still available to privately talk to any one of his thousands of employees. Was this the reason Sam Walton was so successful? We can't say for sure, but he is a prime example of someone who's approachable. And it so happens he's also one of the most notable leaders in the last 3 decades. There is a saying that's very appropriate in this situation, and that is, a non-productive work environment is one where employees are discouraged to speak up, fearing the loss of their jobs. Great leaders encourage feedback from all members of the organization. They are approachable. Number 5, they do what they expect of others. If you expect your team to work hard and produce great results, you're going to have to do the same. When I was a kid, I worked at Wendy's, the fast food restaurant. There were 2 managers there, Maria and Francis. Maria was very good at telling us what to do, but she would always be in her office talking on the phone with her boyfriend. We listened to her, but none of us really respected her. And that is because she doesn't place the same expectations for herself as she does for us. Francis, on the other hand, was different. He didn't have a lot of leadership traits. In fact, he even had trouble telling us what to do. But the one thing he did have was he pulled his own weight. When it was busy, he would grab the spatula and start flipping burgers alongside us. As a result, he gained the respect of everyone. Whenever he was our manager, we worked hard because we wanted to, for Francis. A great leader sets an example, and as a result, gains the respect of his or her entire team. Number 6, they are accountable. Your team's mistakes are your mistakes because you are their leader. Remember the restaurant example? When we left out part of the customer's order, the owner and I personally went to deliver what we missed. Imagine the owner of a restaurant coming to your doorstep to apologize for their mistake. That is unheard of, and yet that is exactly the level of accountability great leaders practice all the time. It's not just about responsibility. It's about taking the next step to make things right. Great leaders are accountable. And lastly, they are decisive. A lot of times, leaders have to make decisions that they are not sure of. But once they have enough evidence to suggest making that decision, they stick with it, and they do it with confidence. Imagine that you are the commander of an army, and you have to make the decision whether to enter the enemy territory from the north or from the west. There's no information as to which one makes more sense, but you will still have to choose. Because without you, their leader, half of your army might decide to invade from the north and half from the west, and some might even call it quits and retreat. Therefore, your job as a leader isn't to always make the right decision, but it's to make a decision in order to keep the team together. Wrong decisions could be fixed, but a scattered team is a recipe for disaster. Great leaders are decisive and confident in their decisions. I hope these tips help you become a better leader. And as always, I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to see more awesome videos like this one.
Right, so these are 7 traits. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of more characteristics of a great leader, but I think these 7 points that he made are very relevant to what we do. Macam I suka yang nombor 3 tu, delegation. Kan? I pun dulu memang susah nak delegate to the important things to the staff. Kan? Sebab kita nak make sure that kita buat, we think that we can do better. But I was wrong. Is it because we never teach our managers or our general managers the things that, the things that we want is our job, but we have to teach them how to do it better than us. Kan? Tapi kita kena check, of course. I dah kena banyak kali when you go to the board meeting, tengok paper, aduh kena. But then we have to be accountable for it. My board always say at the end of the day, the bug is on you. Yeah. We cannot say, oh, sorry, my manager did a mistake. I cannot say that in the board meeting. Yeah, we should not say that in the board meeting. The board wouldn't like it. Yeah. They will tell you upfront. At the end of the day, it's your job. Yeah. Kita make sure that all our reports must be always checked. Sometimes kalau kita punya staff email to us a report, right? Kita kena jawab balik. Kalau boleh within 1 or 2 hours. Then we show them respect that these are the job that they want you to see. I pun kadang-kadang kalau I tengok tak sempat, I call them, I saw your email, thank you, but I think I need a day or two to look at it. So dia rasa appreciative kan? Dia punya appreciative tu lain sikit. Dia tengok, okay, thank you very much, no problem, tak boleh take your time kan? But you kena tell them that you know that they have done, 2-3 hari ni buat report you minta ni, kan? Tapi bila di email kat you, then you buat tak tahu. That's worse, right? That's worse. So every time they know that when they do something, they know that you are looking at it. Because at the end of the day, it's your report, and you have to be accountable to it. So these 7 traits are not only there's just not the 7 lah. You can have a lot of other things. So a good leader, do you guys think that whether a leader is born or made? These are, or it can be both, right? So anybody thinks that leaders are born or made? What? What do you think? What do you think? Are leaders born or they are made over time? Or they want to just make you a leader? If they feel like, I want you to become a leader, put you there, can you become a leader? Huh? Leaders can be trained, yeah. Can be made. Right. Betul? What do you think?
If you go on the basis of leaders being born, then the chances of us being leaders will be better.
Competitive. We can be sacked tomorrow. Yeah. They can be good leaders. Actually true. There's a lot of study being said. I mean, whether leaders are born or made. If you look at the internet, I pun tengok kat internet, actually quite equal lah. Some of them they say leaders are actually born. If you look at great leaders, right, they are these great leaders. You can name a few leaders who are naturally you think that he was just born to be this leader. Kan? Muhammad Gandhi, you look at Hitler, maybe not the big names. You look at some of the great presidents, maybe Tun Mahathir. You think Mahathir is being made to become what he is today? Or he just born to become a leader what he is today? Kan? Kita pun tak tahu. Kan? Not many people can become him. Kan? Ramai orang yang nak jadi leader. But to have somebody, but today 94 years old, semalam and he is already 94. To be walking tu dah the amazing thing lah kan. To be driving lagi kan. Walking up the stairs to go to his office every day is crazy kan. My mom is 83 pun susah nak menjaga kan. He's 93. And he's leading this country, from whatever problem that we have right now, trying his best to consolidate, to motivate ministers, to aspire the nation, to tell them, wait, be patient. We are getting there. Kita rakyat kita impatient, kan? We want things to change the next day, kan? Sama juga macam kita kan. Kita rasa kita dah, well, we voted you. We want everything to be great tomorrow. Things like that. Yeah. So sometimes we need a leader with certain characteristics. We need a leader to be able to have at least that 7 traits lah. Macam tadi decision, right? Decisions are very difficult to do. Betul tak? Sometimes bosses likes to make drastic decisions. Those are, I think, which we should try to avoid. So great leaders always get other opinions. I always make decisions during this I learned from all my board members, and kita nak buat good decisions that actually involve monetary or involve policies or involve contracts, awarding something. Always have another 2 or 3 person to make it with you, and then again your staff or your management will look at you as at least you ask their opinion. But when it comes to decision making, it's yours to make, right? You ask for the opinion, you get their contribution, and their justification or whatever. But based on those things, at the end of the day, you have to make decisions. Decision has to be made, and that's your job, right? You cannot say, tak tahu nak buat apa, macam mana you think macam mana Kalau dia kata, okay, buat macam ni, okay, I pun rasa betul lah macam tu. Tak boleh The decision must come from you. So you say, yeah, I think you're right. I think I also agree with you. This is the decision that I think is the best way to move forward. I think that's what we should do. And at the end of the day, but then again, whatever decision that you have made, you have to be accountable for it. And that's what makes a great leader. So jadi macam kita punya staff ni tak fikir macam takut nak voice opinion. Because sometimes kita punya staff ni dia takut nak voice opinion because they know nanti kena blame lagi kan. Nanti kalau salah pula punya decision ataupun cakap salah kan, nanti bos blame kat kita. So they know that at the end of the day I can tell my CEO whatever justification or whatever opinion that I have, but I know he will make his decision based on his own judgment, not because of just my opinion. So dia rasa dia bolehlah cakap apa nak cakap pun, walaupun dia rasa is against dia punya CEO punya decision, or you know sometimes your boss punya direction, right? But you feel otherwise. So my guys kadang bergaduh dalam bilik meeting room, tak apa, besok keluar minum kopi. That's the culture that we have, kan? Sebab kita tak ada ambil hati kan, dia cuma tahu lah macam they can just tell me whatever. They think that tak bagus lah kita buat macam ni, I think it's wrong lah. Kadang kita pun betul juga ingat balik kan. So okay, let's give me one day to think about it. Then tomorrow I come back and I say okay, this is it. But at least dia berani dia cakap kan. Kalau I cakap betul ke, your decision is correct, I cakap. So when I take that decision, even though then later on I find out okay, damn it, it's wrong kan. It's not like wrong lah. It's like you can do a better decision. It's my accountable. I be accountable for it. So that what I think is the point that we are trying to make today. Out of the 7, I think there's a lot more problem solving on how a leader should assist. It's more about assisting or providing solutions to whatever problems that the management has. Kan, kerja kita leaders ni, kerja kita solve problem lah. Solve problem, solutions, make decisions, quick one, kan, collectively or structurally. So macam mana kita nak buat all those things lah. So kita nak ada brainstorming sessions sekarang ni on a bit on macam mana, what does it take to become a great leader lah. So anybody wants to say something? Help me out. Ada siapa nak share? What do you think, or some stories on you think leadership theory should be, or any idols that you have that you think is the best leader? Who has think that the best leader for Malaysia after Mahathir? Soalan bahaya. Who? Kan? Kita take our country je lah. Kita take our country. Sometimes kita rasa, apa yang macam Datuk Ahad? Betul. Kita rasa semua orang boleh jadi leader kan? Kan? Semua orang boleh jadi leader. Okay, kita ni voters. Who do you want for apa ni? The person to lead the country. Siapa? Kalau you rasa lah, sekarang ni Mahathir turun besok, dia kata dia penat lah, dia kata, tahu dah lah, aku nak turun. Kan? Kalau you sekarang ni, Mahathir pening kepala tak? Memanglah dia dah pergi kat Datuk Seri Anwar kan? And everybody now feels that Datuk Seri Anwar is the best candidate to lead the country. Macam tak ada orang lain ke? Penat kan cik orang nak lead the country? Memang tak ada. Because a leader is somebody you can't just, you have to have that kind of perception. That's why I cakap leaders ni is all about how people perceive you. You can say whatever, I'm good, I'm dedicated, I'm hardworking. Benda ni klise kat lah. Every time kita buat interview kan, my board kalau interview memang ganas je kan, kita punya staff kan. People come and talk about dedication. I'm dedicated, I can do the job better. It's all subjective. I don't want to hear that. Memang dia orang tak nak dengar. You tell me, this is one of the things lah. You tell me 3 great attributes that you think can contribute to our organisation. Kan? 3 tu pun susah nak jawab kan. Dia tak expect soalan. Alamak. Lepas tu dia tanya 3 pula kan. You tell me now 3 weakness that you have. Lagi. 3 weakness. Siapa nak mengaku dia ada weakness? Kan? Jawab. I want to know, be truthful. What is your weakness? So you kena masa tu. Kan? I want to know. You tell me apa-apa. Tak kisahlah apa-apa pun. That's how they actually now. They don't want to hear about. It's all about actual, result oriented. So bila leaders are perceived to be efficient, to be motivational, to be inspirational, or you can actually execute a project, so then you are a good leader. Sama macam kita punya Prime Minister, or how do we perceive our Prime Minister at this moment? Ramai orang macam-macam lah kan. I'm not pro Tuan Mahathir, tak kisah. We're not political here. We're just saying that a great leader must always have that kind of perception. Donald Trump, kan? You think that he's a good leader? Kan? Majority of the US people think that he's a good leader. International people doesn't think so. Kan? He doesn't care, they're not voters. Kan? But now, even Americans are changing their minds. They think that, oh, I voted the wrong guy. Kan? Donald Trump might not be the right leader for us. But at that time, when he was selling himself, like marketing himself for the people think that he's the right guy to actually turn around the country. The country is considered to be in not a good condition. His deadline, American First, was perceived to be, the best solution for the country at that moment. But nobody knows how he's going to do it lah, kan? How he's going to get it done. Kan sama macam kita juga, kita have a very difficult challenges. So later on we go on these challenges. So this is so before kita ada lagi 15 minutes. Anybody want to share anything? Tak ada? Tuan ni.
In reality, you cannot avoid but to have a myriad of leaders or leadership in any organisation. I mean, kalau you pergi dekat university, you ada from the top you go through all the faculties pun you ada different level of leaders. Tapi macam mana you nak overcome things when they are designated? There are two different things here. Being designated is by choice of whoever making decision to hold a post that is designated to be a leader, but do not have what you said, just what all of us are thinking of, have a trait of leadership. So in organization, how you want to overcome that?
Thank you, Cik Nick. Jadi memang betul lah, bila kita interview orang, we don't know how they going to perform. Kita tengok resume is all black and white, right? We can check reference, we know all that. That's why sometimes what I do is I take 1 year contract. After that, I can decide whether I want to renew another 2 years or I take them as permanent. So they know they have 1 year to prove. And sometimes 1 year is good enough for you to know how the style of working, the attributes that they have, whether they can actually perform or not. But different from, I think, like universities, I think they do rotations. Sometimes the dean rotates, and that's how they actually manage their people. Kan? Today you become the dean, next day you become ni, Dato' NC pun tukar every 2 years, 2 or 3 years. I think something like that. But again, in university it's different because they work among peers, right? That's what I think I realised, that because sometimes macam contoh macam our NC Dato' Wahid Omar, he became a Knight Chancellor when their TNCPs are more senior than him. That's the problem, right? So the TNCPs or TNCI or TNCA, all reports, HCP, are senior than him. So he was selected somehow to become, the CEO of the university. So that's the problem, right? So he always tell me this. He comes to me, he share with me, he said, susah sikit lah. I nak push lebih-lebih. Dia my mentor, saya my senior. Tapi aku dengan kau, dia kata boleh lah kan. Kau tak sendiri kau yang tahu. So jadi punching bag lah kan dia kan. Tapi I realise that, betul lah, this is the problem because you work with peers. So sometimes kalau universities, that's why sometimes university is difficult. That is something that I think is a problem because when you rotate, kan, kata after 2 years you turun. Kan? Dulu kau main lagi kau, sekarang boleh turun nanti siap lah. So they are scared of that. So sometimes it's difficult for universities to tell people that, to speed up or to change your decision sometimes. Tapi macam kita lain lah, because kita swasta. Kita consider swasta. Swasta ke GLC ke, I don't know what we are. Sometimes we can be even government. Cuma gaji tak ada bayar oleh government. So we cannot be government. But we are GLC. KPT kata kita swasta. Audit negara boleh datang, check kita macam GLC kan. So sometimes we have to have that kind of governance or expectation lah. So nak jawab Tuan Haji Nick punya soalan tadi, I think it depends. That's how I actually approach it lah. Kalau macam my staff, there's always a KPI. You see macam KPI, macam semalam I was amazed. QSR punya, what's her name? Puan Sinda. Dia kata betul, I quite agree with her. You see, KPIs or I would say SOPs are given. And that's the job. That's not even should be part of the bonus scheme or the performance to evaluate. That's already, you're paid for it. Kan? Wherever we pay our managers 6,000-7,000 ringgit, this is your work scope. Kalau you buat, takkan dapat bonus. So what are other things? So these are the things at the end of the day, today, I will tell you macam mana kita boleh, I will inspire lah. Kita boleh macam I pun besok balik nanti, we want to give a new task. How we can elevate or kita boleh shift our company so that kita boleh turn around. I'm sure some of you are doing very well. Some maybe not. Some have different subsidiaries that does well. Some is not. Macam tu, some are stagnant. Macam mana kita nak elevate, kan? So kita punya elevation tu requires kita to have that vision. And macam mana kita nak inspire kita punya staff bawah ni, kan? And we have to lead them. Macam mana kita nak lead them? So kita ourselves must show the example lah kan. kita balik pun kita macam kita pun tak confident dengan kita punya tu, macam mana kita nak convince them that they gonna achieve what we ask them to do or what our board ask us to do. Kan? Sekarang ni our board, kita masuk board meeting. Normally you orang masuk board meeting bawa staff tak? Tak ada kan? Kita je kan? Board pun tak tengok staff. You jawab seorang kan? I masuk seorang kan? 11 board member kan? Sendiri masuk perang, keluar, bagi tahu staff, board nak macam ni. Staff dengar, okey. Kalau dia tahu, dia I kena buat ni kan? Tapi I kena get my people to help me out. So I need to convince them how we gonna do this and whether we can achieve it or not. Kan? Board kadang suruh buat benda kadang pelik-pelik juga kan. So kita nak convince our staff tu yang kita kena ada this kind of traits ni. Yang masa I buat ni pun I cakap, patut aku tak dapat the things that I wanted because I don't have that kind of attributes. So I wish I can have those kind of traits lah. Slowly lah. Yang 7 tu pun baru 3-4 kat situ kan. Ada lagi 3 kata kat. So kita balik ni kita tengok if we can change our style of leadership. Especially attribute yang accountability tu I think is very true lah. Because staff ni dia kadang rasa very demotivated kalau kita blame dia dekat board lain kan. Kalau dia akan tahu juga eventually kan. I'm sure some of the board members rapat juga dengan people, the news will come. But when he hear that you never even mention his name or her name and blame that person kan, dia rasa macam at least my boss protect me kan. You have to be accountable for it lah, whatever what, because you are supposed to check. Ada kena banyak kali lah kan. I cakap, boss, so sorry I overlook. Dia cakap, it's my fault. Kan? Sekali 2 kali lepas lah, 3 kali memang tak boleh lah kan. So those are the attributes, theories lah. We have another 10 minutes before we go to break. Let's look at the 4 theories of leadership lah. Kita ada transformation leadership, which is more humane leadership theory as compared to military transaction theory. Kita tak nak lah kita macam military pula kan. As a leadership, itu senang je lah. Macam Hitler sekarang ni dia nak buat, tahu siap. Kita tak boleh macam tu, ini government. Not to say government lah. Kita dalam university, we cannot force people to do what we want them to do. So kita kena believe in inspiring employees to do great work kan. Kita kena always inspire. Kerja kita dia motivate je, inspire je kan. Janganlah panggil meeting every day. Sekarang ni kita kena pakai teknologi. Sekarang ni banyak pakai kadang kita try to use FaceTime, kita try to use because we know we don't have a lot of time. Kan? I don't want to say bad about something about universities. Universiti suka panggil meeting kan. Sometimes dia nak juga bosses masuk meeting kan. Tuan Haji tahu kan. Kadang-kadang postmortem pun ada meeting kan. Panggil meeting ramai-ramai. So I train my staff to sometimes attend those meetings and represent holdings and make some decisions, give them delegate so they feel that they have the power, a bit of power, so that they can attend this meeting. Tak attend pun tak boleh, we have to attend, right? Tapi I dah nampak benda tu, I try to minimize meetings all the time. Kan? I rather go down and or ask them direct. I have all the phone numbers of my staff. Tak ramai, I ada 28 staff. Technician sampai tu semua ada. I call them, if I don't have the manager, I call direct to the technician staff. So kita boleh call, teknologi kita dah macam-macam kan. Tapi kalau nak panggil meeting dengan dia pula 2 jam, 3 jam, dia datang daripada site, we're gonna waste his time and then all thing lah. So kita pula, people rise higher through positive innovation, not negative. Kan, macam kalau kita banyak sangat negativity dalam, so if we see some of our staff for example, negatif sangat. I'm sure ada lah 2-3 orang dalam kita punya organisasi mesti negatif. Kan? So we pull him or her aside and then kita tell them that how to become positive, take it on a positive manner. Kan? We can do this. I know it's not easy, but how can I help you to achieve this? Kan? Dia pun jadi kurang lah negatif sikit. Sebab bila dia negatif, dia cakap kat luar tu kan, orang luar pun terpedaya. Terconvince lah kan. Apa bos ni bagi target bukan-bukan kan. Kita nak buat, for example bowling. I have a 10-lane bowling. I told them it's a 10-lane bowling. We cannot do competition. Competition requires 24 lanes. Kan. that's international competition lah. But if you can do in-house competition, that's your niche. Because people can have exclusivity. 10 days, 50 people, exclusive main. You don't share with anybody. Betul tak? So that is the target market. Right? So I cakap, I want full house every weekend. Kan? Tak boleh, pukul 12, staff macam mana, apa semua kan. Macam-macam lah, tak boleh kan. Kan? So you tolong, okay, kita buat macam ni lah. Kita buat macam ni, kita buat macam ni. Tak boleh. Kan? So dia berapa hal negatif dulu. Dia nak ada defense mechanism kan. Dia macam kita lah dulu kan, defense dulu kan. Bos aku buat, nanti. Tak boleh ni bos, susah kan. So dia terus ada juga yang kata boleh je dulu pun boleh ada juga. Kan? Padahal dia tak boleh. Kan? Buat di mana ni? Boleh bos. Pasal dia pun tak tahu macam nak buat. Tapi at least dia positif. Kita tahu kan, ini ya, betul ni boleh macam mana nak buat. Kan? Tapi dia positif lah, dia tak adalah negatif terus. Itu tak apa. Kan? So kita galakkan orang lebih positif from negatif. So be the leader that we wish we had lah. Because kita pun nak juga kita punya boss, kan? Kita pun tak tahu kita punya staff ni kan, tengok kita macam mana. So because we are all leaders kan. And we have our leaders. Yeah, for me, my leader is our Chancellor, our Naib Chancellor, our DSPs, our board directors. Those are our leaders. Yeah. Kita mesti ada juga tak suka our leaders. Hopefully dia ni macam ni lah lebih sikit kan. Tapi kita pun macam mana kan. Kita tengok diri kita lah. Bila kita balik ni, we look at ourselves. Because all of us are leaders in our organisation. We have group CEOs. So you have a lot of experience more than me. That's why I hope we can share more later on lepas tea break ni kan. Lagi tea break. So kita nak ada satu apa kata change of style of leadership. Kan? Kita nak the 21st century leadership. We don't want to be a traditional leader anymore. We have to keep pace with our younger generation. I realise that bila kita punya new graduate masuk kan, masuk kerja, the way they do things are different. They are more vocal, kan? Cakap, ni lain macam ni orang ni sikit kan. Yang senior takut nak bercakap, yang muda dia bercakap. Because these are millennials, they are trained in school or universities to speak up. Kan? Kita dulu kat universiti mana bercakap, duduk kat belakang kan. Lelaki lah, perempuan tak tahu kan. Aku dengar, cakap pun tak, kena paksa waktu ke depan bercakap. Gigil kan. Tapi these people talk, kan? And they have their own opinions, kan? Opinionated generation, and they are highly technical lah, teknologi, kan? Itu sebab sekarang ni kita belajar. So kita pun belajar. How kau buat macam ni kan? How do you do your ni pakai ni je lah. Kita tak payah voice conferencing pun, kan? We chat pun boleh. We can now connect to 3 or 4 people, kan? So you save time. Malam pun boleh buat. Tengah buat kereta balik dengan jam pun boleh buat WeChat juga. So you cut a lot of time. And these people also have ways of doing things. Sometimes reports are not, I realise that they will say report ni you tak baca pun kan. So you use now WhatsApp group faster. Now dulu email was not considered as a formal document. 10 years ago, email is already a formal document. Now WhatsApp is already a formal document. Yeah, we thought WhatsApp is like, kalau you buat call, kena WhatsApp. Yeah, so better look, make sure whatever you do, whatever written in the WhatsApp, make sure don't, because everybody can snapshot and keep it. Yeah, it's all legal now. So I've learned from this younger generation how to be a better leader lah, how to say kan. Because these people sometimes not always they true. Because sometimes mereka ni pun loose cannon juga kan. Cakap dia boleh so you kena control them lah. But jangan demotivate them. Because idea banyak ni nak lepas. Orang muda ni kan, dia ada banyak ideas. Dia tu cakap sometimes if you look at these new generations, dia punya ideas tu sometimes maybe to say not out of the box tu tak jugalah. Tapi kadang-kadang not traditional, not conventional way of doing things lah. Tapi pergi balik, might work. Kan? Macam saya cakap sekarang ni, apa kita nak buat to get people to come in to residency, cakap sekarang ni. They ask me, what do you mean? Kan? Penuh je kan? Penuh for you in the afternoon. Kan? Baru ni dapat WhatsApp from one of the professor. I mean food court tu, meja I penuh meja. Tanya kan, penuh. Dia suruh tambah lagi meja. I cakap, business wise, saya cakap, I boleh tambah tapi part kosong. Only 20%. Masa lunchtime, penuh. Dia suruh tambah lagi meja. Weekend, my occupancy rate, weekend kalau I tengok in terms of people, traffic, 30-40%. Kenapa? Because I'm depending on the working people around there. Or MINDEF, they don't stay there. Orang UTM memang balik. Kan? Most UTM stay in Bangis, Shalam, I stay in Shalam. Siapa nak tahu weekend? So weekends are those people who actually lives there around the area, the neighborhood. That's why we call it a neighborhood mall. So cakap macam mana kau nak naikkan setiap weekend? I punya food court punya retailers on weekdays doing about 800 to 1,500 a day. That's the revenue normally lah. Depending, ada yang favorites, ada yang kurang sikit. So 800 to 1,500 a day. Weekend, this is weekdays lah. Weekend 400 to 600 a day. Ada yang 800 a day. Kan? So those are the trends I'm more interested in, kan? Kita nak make sure. So budak-budak muda ni yang biasalah, nak WhatsApp apa tak boleh nak fikir kan. Macam mana nak buat tak boleh fikir kan. Facebook lah macam-macam. Advertising tu jangan cakap lah kan. Weddings, yes. So we have a wedding hall which fully booked on the weekend. Baru ni UTM call marah. Nak buat seminar ni, strategic planning. Budak you kata fully booked. Fully booked. Nak buat macam mana? Takkan kau nak batal lah orang punya wedding. Gila kan. Bila free kan. Dia pun terkejut. All weekends are fully booked. But my weekdays is hardly 30%. So I tell my guys kan, now you tell me, I don't want to know about weekend lah kan. Now you fikir. Macam mana nak naikkan kita punya occupancy for the weekdays. Rate dah turun. So it's not about the rate. Kan? Rate is not 7,000-8,000 a day on weekdays. I cakap ada turun to 3,000, 4,000 a day. Orang yang tak ada juga. Apa yang nak buat sekarang? Apa masalah kita? Kan? Kita kena tahu who actually does events on weekdays. Government, corporations, games, I would say from the organisers or event managers. I cakap you pergi carilah all the event managers, create event. What type of events? Yang bawah-bawah ni lah, yang this new group. Sekarang ni mana ada student nak datang event talk ni. Kan? Yang manager semua, kita buat motivational talk, talk macam ni lah, kita buat ni. Mana ada nak dengar kan? Student dah care about all that. Kita buat PS2 competition. Ada orang main PS2 je. Rupanya league dia besar. Kan? This gaming league is huge. I don't know. Kan? Penuh kan budak on weekend. Datang dari mana datang ni. Gamers ni. Betul kan? Anak saya pun macam ni kan. Tapi rupanya fanatics. So we even charge them RM50 fees, but we do macam a league lah. So to have them to come every week. So they have to be in the league so that every week they are there kan. So kita buat e-games facilities kita panggil. So penuh on weekdays, or weekends. So that's something that we don't really think, but they know what's happening in the market. And then macam the neighborhood would like to have macam for their children. What is it for them kan? Macam anak datang makan for family. So those are the ideas that we have to get from them. Kita motivate everyone. Everyone must have a different type of thinking. Kan macam kita, of course kita yang dah experience, and we know how to tackle the market in terms of pricing strategy, in terms of kita punya needs, market demand. Kan kita sekarang ni memang macam for example kita bowling lah, kita tengok bowling lah. Ni senang, I punya perspektif, I just share with you. Okay, bowling. We start at 10. Kan? We start at 10, we finish now at 12. But before this, I tutup pukul 10 because mall tutup pukul 10 lah. I have to incur electricity kan. I have to incur electricity. My electricity bill is high. Takkan sebab bowling, I kena buka sampai pukul 12. But people play on average, kalau competition, 5 frames. Kan? 1 frame training, 4 frames main kan. Habis pukul 12. Tapi these people who comes also comes for dinner. Dia datang dulu, dia makan kat situ lah kan. Makan, dia pergi jalan, nampak orang. So they come every month. So these are the information which I didn't know. So my staff cakap sekarang ni bukan, we not just look at the bowling punya revenue kan, tapi kita pun dapat them to use our our lots kat bawah retail. So those are the thinking that if you motivate them, there's a lot of ideas that this younger generation ni kadang dia buang ni punya thinking ni kita kena dengar, kita appreciate lah. So kalau kita dengar, kita appreciate kan, dia orang rasa macam motivated lah to think kan. Balik dia cerita, kalau you tengok kan, balik macam I bagi satu task, so I tengok ada group lah, tapi dia orang suka group ni satu thinker ni, dia group ni macam sini lah kan, dia group lah. Yang otai sikit satu group kan. Dia bincang kan. Tapi when you call all of them in, okay, 2 minutes, then you have to know how to collaborate these things. You cannot choose one group to one group, because you are the leader, right? Then you have to make sure that you extract the best information that everybody consensus lah. You punya kepintaran macam mana you nak get a total or unanimous decision so that you can do it collectively. Itu je. So we have a break sampai pukul. Kita bincang more on this is on the business side. Okay, I mean the first part ni alhamdulillah lah. I mean dia kata kita bincang business lah daripada more leadership. So at least we have discussed on leadership. So how are we going to lead our organisation towards achieving what we plan, what we intend to do for the universities, our businesses and so forth. So yesterday I had share one video on residency UTMKL. I have 3 parts, 3 cases of business ventures that we do. We want to share with you how we actually implement it. Si residency UTMKL ni dia unik sikit. Kenapa? Sebab benda ni dah di-implement. So there's a business case for it. So I just want to share how we actually do it and how we actually get it done lah. So the last part tu is the video. Semalam tak dengar dia punya video tu kan. So from this, then we can tell you later on, we can share with you how we actually do it lah. Sound ni? Okay, so semalam anybody has any question on residency UTM, how we actually do it? Anybody wants to know? Okay, the business concept first. UTM took a loan from EPF. Why EPF? Because EPF is not guided by BAFIA, so it's easier for us to get a loan up to 15 years. Sometimes bank money ada bank lagi. Anyone of you get longer than 15 years? Traditional banking. Kan? Normal banks tak boleh bagi more than 50 years. If you talk to Maybank, RHB, AKEPT, they are talking about 50 years depending on the project lah. So EPF will give 15 years and they give 100% loan. Most banks will give the best 90% loan. They give 100% loan. If you're lucky, you get 90%, if not 80%. So how are you going to get that balance 20%? You know, for the loan? Yes sir.
Tapi EPF ni dia punya arrangement macam mana? You memang ada special arrangement ke?
Tak ada. Kita
any ordinary company pun boleh apply?
Boleh. I can give you the contact person. Tapi kali ni because the first part ni yang ambil loan tu is the UC. You convince UC that they are the one who actually supposed to take the loan. We are supposed to commit to them to pay that loan. Because why? Because they have the land. EPF requires collateral, but they don't require guarantee. So dia ada collateral, UTM kita ada collateral. So kita punya tanah ni is a issue for everyone lah. Kan? Macam mana kita nak bangunkan benda ni dalam this thing. Dah boleh pasal ni punya sound ke? Belum ya? Okay. Tanah kita ni, tanah UTM dalam KL campus is part of 46 acres of land. This development is only 4.6 acres. So kita tak ada subdivide. So we told them, you don't need to lease the land to us because we don't develop. That's why there's no subdivision of land. So we actually don't have to do that. Secondly, we have a problem of the land being an institutional land. So kita nak buat commercial building. Macam mana kita nak buat the commercial building. So what we did was, our initial submission to DBKL for approval is for student education center. With some retail for students. That's how it's been worked. Tapi bila kita get the approval for hostel development, kita pun panggil dia student accommodation center. Dia klik dah tu, untuk you ada mana fikir dari tempat. So bila kita dapat our rate, our electricity bills, our tukar itu semua institution lah, kan? It's cheap. Tapi bila kita dah dapat ni, I look at all the business plan balik. So that's where the value comes in. That we look into the forecast. You know, I told university, look, I don't think you can get this kind of rate, even for international students. Yeah. How can you ask the internationals to pay 1,600 ringgit a month for accommodation? There's no way. The best I can sell is 1,000 a month. The best I can sell is 1,000. Okay, fine. And then retail. I tengok balik all the retail, how much per square foot. Kalau ke LCC boleh lah charge RM25 per square foot. Kan? We are here at this place. I can only charge RM7, RM8, maybe RM10 the most. Tengok whether you are in front or we are the back, or whether you are a big company. You see, dealing with big companies are different. And when you talk to KFC, when you talk to Burger King, negotiations are totally different. They are pros. They are pros. They know exactly what they want, and you have to know how to give and take and make sure that you get the best out of them lah. Memang dia orang ni pakar dalam perbincangan. Dia akan hantar legal team dia. Masa tu kau dah tersepit lah. Never be in that meeting. Because then you have to decide. You bagi you punya senior manager masuk dulu first round kan. Kau gaduh lah, tolong lah kan. Nak buat decision tak tahu kan. Tapi because this is, but you have to go on top. So I dengan Datuk Azhari in close contact. Biar bawah ni you jangan masuk. The last decision baru you masuk. Kan? And you always say that decision is always on your board. Never tell them that you are the one who is going to decide. Kan? Even though actually you can decide lah. Kan? Tak boleh lah, to go back to my board lah. Tengok macam mana dia decide. Okay, on the land part. So, the land dah tak payah nak tukar status.
There is world-class student accommodation, hospitality, shopping, and...
Okay, these are actual... apa ni, itu pun tak update. This is last year. So, at least you can see, boleh. You can see what's happening.
Well known to be successful in providing academic empowerment within a well-formed education infrastructure, Universiti Teknologi Malaysia, one of the top research universities in the region, has taken human and infrastructure development one step further. Introducing Residency UTMKL. Residency UTMKL is an integrated mixed development complex that offers world-class student accommodation, hospitality, shopping, and dining experience. This entrepreneurial and innovative project stands tall and sits well in the heart of Kuala Lumpur. UTMKL is acknowledged to be one of the best city campuses in Malaysia, offering world-class facilities and education. The crowning feature of this self-funded project are its 4 accommodation towers, with a total of 700 rooms, representing the best in modern design and facilities. Residency UTMKL does not only provide well-appointed student accommodation, but also world-class hospitality, managed by the renowned Royal Wihdat Residence and the Regency Scholars Hotel. Residency UTMKL also provides state-of-the-art grand banquet halls for all events, including conferences, seminars, and weddings. After a hard day's work, relax your mind at the 10-pin bowling center, or take a few laps at the swimming pool to help you unwind. Get ready for a full dining and shopping experience at Gurney Mall. Located within Residency UTMKL complex, Gurney Mall is built with modern demands in mind, as it invites visitors to its diversity of choice and a multitude of modern-day conveniences. Fast becoming a popular hangout for the surrounding neighborhood, as well as local and international hotel guests, Gurney Mall provides a full shopping experience with the best in services, retail, and F&B offerings. From comfortable living to just sitting back with a steaming cup of coffee or exploring a variety of retail options in the heart of Kuala Lumpur, there's always a place for everyone. Residency UTM KL, connecting university, industry and society.
Okay, tempat ni siap 2 years ago lah. I think kita dapat CCC kita May 2017. May 2017. So lebih kurang 2 tahun lah. And we managed to get, I think 80% occupancy last year. Now nearly, we have 2 lots left lah. Itu pun the strategy now I told my guys, these 2 lots, make sure that we get the best brand. Because the best brand pays well. Seriously. Kita punya brands, KFC, Burger King semua tak ada tak payah minta surat suruh bayar pun. Dia bayar on time. On time, on that date. Dia bayar on the second masuk duit every day, every single month. Seriously. So you tak ada pening kepala. Collections is an issue kan. Kalau kita memang nak tolong some of the local parties and all that. But of course the big brands tu dia ada their own SOPs lah. So my advice is if you want to talk to them and to get them in, basically kita pun silap juga masa kita nak buat this design of the mall. We never talk to the industry. For example, McDonald's, what are their requirement? Tesco, we wanted Tesco. Ya pergi Tesco, dah nak settle lah. Dia nak, rupanya dia punya license 30,000 square feet minimum. Kita pun tak tahu dia nak 30,000 square feet. Kalau I tahu, I dah buat untuk dia 30,000 square feet kan. Awal-awal. Burger King, McDonald's, masak 100% using electricity. Kita pun tak tahu. Kita punya normal outlet, kita tak 60, 80 watt je. Kan? So you have to pull electricity, spend more money. Kan? Provision aja I spend to get all this in nearly 3 million. I have to spend to renovate, pecahkan dinding sebab dia nak lot yang besar, dia tak boleh 1,200, minimum dia punya square feet 2,005. Contoh, Guardian. Kan, I nak minta Guardian to come in. Susah agak lah, lala dia setuju. So I have to break some walls to make sure that they have the required space. So all of these are things that, if you want to do something like this, it's interesting because then you provide that kind of lifestyle for your student lah kan. Bila student datang, that's why kita punya student rate every year naik about 5 to 600 a year extra lah every year. So sekarang ni kita dah ada more and more students to come in because they look at the campus as a lifestyle lah. Student sekarang ni dia lain sikit. Macam semalam Datuk Seri Zaini Ujang cakap betul. Student kita bila datang, bukan Malaysia ni, kalau international student lah, let's talk about international student dia tengok Malaysia ni as a developed country. I rasa lah. So dia punya expectation tinggi lah. So daripada China, India datang, Middle East, bila dia tengok kita punya hostel bila masuk, alamak kan, ada yang angkat beg lah di luar kan. Because they can pay. Right. But they expect Malaysian universities so well known internationally, ranking bagus, have the same standard for facilities. So that's why kita provide this kind of thing lah. So tanah kita tak payah nak convert pun jadi commercial. So macam mana I dapat license to operate hotel? That's the question kan. Orang nak tahu, ada cerita sikit dengan member Rosie dah tahu lah. Okay. How do I get license for the hoteliers to operate under business punya status? Kan, sebab ni institution. I pun pening kat mula kan. Kita terlepas pandang benda tu. Kan, kita nak tanah tu jadi institution, tak nak convert jadi commercial, tak nak bayar premium. Bangunan kita pun institution, tak nak bayar premium. Tapi kita nak dapat license tu tak boleh. Kan. So bincang dengan BKL. So what we did was, ni benda yang tak pernah buat kat I pun tak tahu. The floor tu for the bangunan hotel tu we convert to commercial. Rupanya floor boleh convert commercial. So my tanah is still institution, building institution, the floor we convert to commercial. So they can get license to become hotel. So this is one way maybe if you are lucky, but you have to check with them first lah. Maybe different state different. Yeah. So if you want to do something, you have to do it lah. Otherwise, university yang kena operate the hotel. If university operate hotel, macam kita punya Scholars Inn, for example, is inside our building. Kita tak ada business license. because we convince DBKL yang ini untuk in-house. But of course 30% of our customers are from outside. But being a university, siapa nak check kan? But this is a bigger kind of business, yes. Correct. Tanah under Federal Land Commissioner, kita lease for 99 years. So you're right, there's a lot of, that's the problem with our land in KL. Both our land dekat Semarak, 46 acres, and dekat Setapak, 68 acres are under Federal Land Commissioner. Kita baru dapat title 2 years ago. So when it comes to lease 99 years, you cannot sell, you cannot jaga, you cannot sublet. Boleh sublet, tapi you have to inform them. Banyak dia punya kerja. Unlike kita punya tanah kat Johor. Under Johor tu is our own land. But of course it's still institution lah. Tapi kalau lease is not a problem. Because if you build something, if they want to take it back, they have to compensate lah. So it's not a problem lah. Yeah. So any questions on this project? Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Hello, thank you. So, because we have our directions to have maybe UMS International Hotel within the campus, we have developed our conceptual development plan. It's about to be submitted to local authorities. The problem was when we bring up this matter to our investment committee of the university, one of the members is the director of the land and survey himself. So he sternly warned us that once you converted the land, that piece of land, a sublease or whatever mode, then it's subjected to payment of premium, a land premium about 16 million. So we stopped that idea at that stage until maybe certain negotiations with the state government is done.
What are you building?
UMS International House is actually it's 3-star, 4-star kind of hotel. We have to blend maybe with some educational training facilities for the students, because we have a faculty of economics which we conduct hospitality, bachelor degree in hospitality. So
It depends.
yeah.
At the end of the day, the question is whether you require a license or not. Why I say that is because if you require a license, if you want to participate in a bidding, for example, you want to bid for tourism, you want to go for MOF, you want to bidding lah, you want to masuk bidding orang, or you just want to do a normal business. So then you don't require license. You see macam sekolah Zin, for example, you say you tell them that this is in-house, I'm doing it for an institution. I'm not doing a business, hotel business on its own. Is it inside the campus? I don't think you require a license. And then you can say that this is for your in-house students, parents to come in and stay, staff, and your industry partners staying there in the hotel. So this is part of education or part of facilities that require you don't require a license. So when you don't require a license, you don't require it to convert it into commercial. It can be an institution based. For example, one of the reasons why we convinced the BKL is because I told them 60% is students and staff that's going to stay here. I going to lease to them, and I show them lah, tu ada universiti ada staff. So mereka tengok, okay lah, 60% student mesti we stick it to institution.
So are you subjected to payment of premium? No. Okay, the problem with our plans here is that we try to have partners, industry partner. So that industry partner, of course, they want to ask for some maybe collateral, which we try not to engage in putting that land as collateral. But of course, the land is a status. The status is education. It's not a bankable status. So we have another second problem of finding partners when the property is not bankable, because it's difficult to get funding.
Susah sikit nak jawab lah. I think it is everybody's concern, everybody's problems lah. Tanah, institution. Nak cagar pun kadang susah because you require university punya consent, right? You cannot sell definitely lah. If you want to do a commercial, you have to pay the premium. So banyak sangat limitation for us or for holdings to get loans, right? So macam mana for me I can try to get a loan, right? So you have to work outside the box lah. Macam ni UTM ambil loan senang. So I have 2 more projects. Maybe I can share with you how we actually get funding for it. There's various ways where we can actually try and get funding. If you go to the bank, if you have bank will require definitely lah. Normal non-bank they require collateral. Memang kita tak ada collateral. Contoh kalau ada okay, then you have to go for cash flow, right? You have to convince them who is gonna. Because at the end of the day, the bank will want to know how you're going to pay them. Where is the money going to come from? Do you have a confirmed tenant or a confirmed customer? Right, I want to build a hospital, right? I cerita kat you hospital project ni interesting kat lah. I have a joint venture with KPJ. UTM bagi I tanah, bukan bagilah, lease to me a land 5 acres. Dia kata now, this is before me. This project was, the idea was there. So we put the land as a collateral or as a paid up capital contribution. That land premium we negotiated paid by UTM. We valued it at 555 ringgit per square feet. So 5 acres comes up to about 11 million worth of money. So we told KPJ, look, this 11 million will represent 40% share as a paid up capital in that joint venture company. So that joint venture company holds the license for the hospital and also build the hospital, right? So to make up 60%, KPJ has to pump in 17 million, right? So 11, 17, 40, 60%. So that's the first idea. But again, I told the board, okay, this is easy lah. We don't have to come up with any money. You give us the land and we hold 40% of the joint venture company. My return will be in terms of dividends, right? Dividends. Maybe, I don't know, you have done hospital, it's a lucrative business, everybody wants to do it. I mean, business-wise, viability, okay, fine, but we're not the majority shareholder. There's nothing to it that we can be really, I would say, proud of lah. That's the way I look at it. So I told KBJ, look, what if I tell you the joint venture company will only be the operations of the hotel, or the hospital, right? The building, let me build it. And I lease it to the JVCO, which we hold 40%. And so why do I want to do that? It's crazy, right? I mean, the UTM doesn't give me 20% financing for my loan. And why do I want to do it? Because you see, when, let's say for example, this how hospital brand lah, they give a yield of 7% or 6.5% of the GDC to you. Over a period of time, it accumulates, right? So we have an agreement to lease, right? So I have from KBG agreement to lease for 30 years, right? They sign with me 15 plus 15. Then I go to the bank, I say, I have this payment, rental from KPJ or from this JVCO, which I am inside, 40%, JVCO 40%. KPJ has 50 over hospitals. None of the hospitals is not doing well. All is doing well. Right? The track record is there. So the bank look at it and say, oh, great. Okay, you have a confirmed payment. Right? So how much do you need from us? I cakap, I want 100% lah. Right? To do this because they say cannot. Okay, so what we did was, the GDC, of course it includes the land cost, right? So I told UTM, look, at least the land cost, premium you bayar lah. Right? It's your land anyway. We lease from you. So we need a land which is already converted to commercial for me to do this hospital. Macam tadi Ustaz tanya, this is why I cannot escape. Because hospital you need a commercial land. You cannot do in institutional land unless it's a teaching hospital. Ours is a specialist hospital. We don't have a medical faculty lah. Unlike you are teaching hospital, maybe you can do it institutional kan. Kita orang tak boleh. Kita orang kena commercial. But for me, now, I can make money on construction upfront, Secondly, I have a bit of surplus on that period of 30 years, right? Bayar balik 25 years je. I get this. We have to look at other investors lah. Now I'm working with a company called Casapines, for example. We have gone through a lot of banks. Banks settle, no problem. 80% semua boleh buat. With that agreement to lease, right? 90% ada, 2-3. 100% tak ada. Bank tak bagi 100%. Tapi you boleh main lah, markup GDC apa semua. You can still do it. But banks can only do it 15 years. So for 15 years, I cannot get my cash surplus every month. Whatever they pay me tu, aku tak boleh meet the whatever I get, tak boleh meet the. I have to stretch it to 25 years. So siapa yang bagi 25 years? Siapa yang bagi? Not within the banking system. So we have to go outside and look for this kind of people. And there are these kind of people, locally and internationally. Right now I'm working with Casapines. So Casapines manage trust funds from UK and Australia, right? See, unlike Malaysia, KWSP kita expect KWSP mesti every year bagi kita berapa? KWSP 6%. 35% kan? KWSP 5%. Dia pun bagi 3% je. So their cost of funds is low. These people doesn't require collateral, doesn't require guarantee, doesn't require money upfront, 100% loan. Cuma dia nak be part of the joint venture company, which they are willing to take minority share. That's all I want, because I nak buff up my balance sheet. I want the asset to be in my balance sheet, and then I make money on construction. At the end of, I took 25 years. So 35 years is stretch at 4.9% net cost of funds. Kan? Cheaper than sukuk tu. Kan? Sukuk pun tak dapat kan? Siapa dapat sukuk paling tinggi sini? Paling rendah apa dapat? Ada anybody want to share? Sukuk, siapa pernah dapat sukuk? Atau ada pernah dapat sukuk? Tak ada ya? I think sukuk, UiTM. UiTM, for green sukuk, right? They got green sukuk. I'm not sure what, but I think sukuk now, if you talk to the bond, the sukuk, they're going for 5.25, depending what's your rating lah. If you're AA minus, like us, the best they can give is 4.5, 5.1. These people 4.95 straight. So if you want, I can always connect you to those people. Secondly, sukuk lah. Sukuk ni susah sikit sebab you have to go through security commission. You need a lot of reporting, kan? And they don't do upfront payment. Sukuk ni because they get crowdfunding lah. It's like something like crowdfunding. You convince investors to invest in you, but they always invest in something which is already ready. Kan? Itu sebab macam UiTM, if you take sukuk, you need a bridging loan. So they give you a bridging loan which is on higher rate. Kan? Dah siap semua COD. Kan? You dah ada commercial operation date, baru sukuk masuk. Sukuk ni safe lah kan. That's why dia bagi you a cheaper cost of funds. Less risk, less cost of funds. Higher risk, higher cost of funds. Simple. Kan? So dia ada bridging loan. Tapi banyak kerja lah. Reporting lah, apa benda kan. So this is one way that we do it lah. So that's how I want to do it. But the reason, actually only reason why I want to do it, because it gives me, I don't have assets. I don't have. In my balance sheet, that's why I'm double A minus. Banks look at first your net assets, whether your assets is more than your liabilities. If you highly geared, they don't want to talk to you, right? Number one. Number two is of course the project, financial background lah, right? So if I have an asset of 100 million, the hospital GDC cost me 100 million, right? So you tell me, after 25 years, how much the value is? I target 220 million. Asset in my balance sheet, fully paid, right? Fully paid. Of course, I negotiated with you still lah, 30 years, I'll give it to you lah, the building kan, for free. Yeah. So the building will be for you, rental is up to you, but FM, give it to us. So I rent to you at 1,000 ringgit per year for 5 acres. 1,000 ringgit per year per acre, basically you give me for free lah. Tapi you tolong ke I bayarkan premium. So that's how we give and take with universiti lah. Universiti tengok benda tu as a catalyst for us to do other developments di universiti. Of course, we have a strategic reason for it lah. Kita tak ada medical faculty. Kita ada bioscience medical faculty. So I have a lab there, which is a step towards maybe trying to get a quota for it lah. But a business point of view, I want that into my balance sheet. I make 3 things here. I made on construction profit. I made on surplus because I stretch it to 25 years. Now I have a surplus every year lah. Tengok every year of payment. Then at the end of the 25 years, I have a building worth a lot more. So that would be a good thing for me. On top of that, I have 40% in the hospital. Kan, I dengar from SUKM, dengar from the hospital business, oh kalau boleh kau ambil lebih banyak share kan. It's a good profitable business. And I think so. I think 40% is a good thing. I think I'm okay with 40% because I'm not the expert in running a hospital. But I would love to have that 40% so that we can have a good thing. But of course, the return comes into the dividends lah kan. Dividends up to majority shareholder to decide. Awal-awal dah negotiate dengan KPJ dah. The dividend policy should be at least 50% from the profit. Right. And then if I don't have that land to put as my paid-up capital, now I have to negotiate with KPJ pula. What would be the maximum paid-up capital, betul tak? Tiba-tiba dia kata, okay, sekarang ni dah tak ada tanah kan, kena masuk 10 million paid-up capital. Oh, satu hal juga. 40% 4 million kan. Okay lah, tak ada masalah sangat lah. Tapi kalau lebih daripada tu, problem juga. So I capped it at 10%. At 10 million. 10 million is the paid-up capital. So for 4 million, 6 million. Right. So what if we need more money? Right. So what you can do is, you tell them, okay, as a majority shareholder, you 60%. Any additional funds from the shareholders must come through preference shares. So you don't change your shareholding structure. It maintains at 40%, right? Katakan, we require about another 10 million. Macam mana nak buat ni? Kan? Tak nak ambil loan. It has to come from shareholders. Masuklah. Tak kira redeemable, cumulative preference shares, kan? I think they will take that because preference shares is a share that is given by normally the stakeholders or the shareholders loan to the company. Being preferred tu maknanya you'll be paid first, kan, compared to other creditors. Bank even paid last, paid second. Preference shares dulu. And preference shares comes with a small coupon lah, dividend lah, 2 or 3% lower than the bank. Depend how you negotiate lah kan. And it's convertible sometimes kan. Kalau you tak bayar, dia convert jadi ordinary shares. Masa tu baru you punya shareholding terjejas kan. Dia punya share akan naik. But that's how I negotiate lah. Kalau kata kita tak ada duit nak letak paid up capital kan. So you get them to put in as preference shares lah. Any questions?
Cik Kamil ya. Yang preferred share tadi. Preferred share, dividend for preferred share.
Yeah.
So you punya company solvency okay.
Preferred share for solvency?
Because in case of problem, then only preferred share, you have to pay the preferred shareholder in case of if you have any problem. But for the regular dividend, yearly dividend,
yes.
if the company is not having cash problem.
That's why it's cumulative. That's why dia preference shares ni dia banyak. Dia boleh redeemable, cumulative, convertible preference shares.
Saya agree with that. But the New Companies Act, there's a one clause saying that you cannot simply pay dividend if you don't have cash, something like that.
Yeah.
So
You
how it relate to you, the preferred share in your context?
Yeah, because because preference shares is normally given by the shareholders. In this case, KPJ is the shareholder, and they know the business quite well. So they know that if they want to invest in the business, that's why it's easy for me to convince them. I want to cap it to 10 million. If you require more money, then you put in, because you are the majority shareholder anyway, right? And you know the business, right? So for them, it's not an issue. But you're right, if there's any other business, for example, which is not in their expertise, Maybe they are worried that, okay, because in the Companies Act, if you are not positive, or you don't have a positive retained earnings, right? Retained earnings, no, cumulative retained earnings, right? It's not even that year. Cumulative retained earnings, you're not supposed to issue dividends. Ada siapa tak bayar dividend? Tu mesti. Anybody? Ada kan? So kita orang pun dah baru 3 tahun positif cumulative retained earnings. That means kalau you punya daripada tahun lepas tu, you kena campur tahun ni, kalau you masih lagi negatif, tak payah bayar dividend. Kan? Cuma you kena bayar cara lain lah. There's many things that you can actually give out money to universities. Kan? Normally what we do is kita divide into several dividends, endowment and also CSR. So because endowment ni dia ada double tax deduction, so I took that advantage lah. Kita ambil tu, dia bagi kita double tax deduction, dan some of it daripada bayar tax kan 24%, kan 500,000 lebih tu. Nak belajar pada Tuan Syed macam mana dia dapat lepas kan. Dia pun kata tahun ni the last sebab tu. So we have to get that thing lah, because sometimes it's a problem lah. Macam kat board kan, cakap kat board sekarang ni, I made 3.2 million last year kan. Cakap dengan board sekarang ni, I have to pay tax 24% maximum, nearly 30%. I have to pay nearly 1,800,000 plus to the government kan, which doesn't help university anymore kan. That's the issue. Now I can make more, so how I do ini creative accounting lah kan. So where we put in as surplus into my expenses next year. I don't care lah. I declare 1.8 million profit dia tiba turun, I masuk dalam expenses lah. Kalau tidak I kena tax daripada pergi ke masuk YouTube ni. Yeah. So we have to pay tax. Yes. But we have to pay, we can pay many ways. Endowment is one. We can make use of the double tax deduction, and then we can, even the surplus kalau kita dapat, kita put in as our expenses. Kan? So that one can be less dividend. Because dividends is up to the shareholder to decide. Kan? Berapa kita nak bayar. Tapi kalau dapat that pioneer status, kita tak bayar tax lagi bagus. Actually we can convince the government lah easily. I mean, you want us to, macam tadi semalam somebody said, are we producing enough or are we contributing enough for the university? Kan? Setakat 2-3 juta, university tengok pun peanuts. That's why sometimes university tak take us seriously. They don't take us seriously because they know kan, how much you can contribute to them. Kalau I diorang buat macam pandang mata sebelah je kan. Setakat bagi 2-3 juta kat itu orang, it's peanuts for them. So what makes them look at you? Betul tak? Kenapa they take you seriously when you only giving them peanuts, right? Is this thing lah. The thing that we create for them is not just monetary. We create value. We monetize their assets. Kita tengok macam mana we can help them go around lah. Because kita considered professional lah kan. Kita daripada luar. Not to say that they are not professional. They are academicians. Sometimes they don't have the experience. Kita pun new regulation. Macam our friend dia cakap, new ways of raising funds, new ways of joint venture, right? How do we actually get partners and still retain majority and have control of our station kan? Kita dah tak nak macam dulu universiti kan, macam kata kan, if we dah borak dengan Dato' Nah, it's a very good point. Kita dah tanah, banyak tanah kan. Universiti ada macam-macam proposal masuk kan, macam-macam cadangan, kertas kerja nak buat macam-macam projek. But they always fail to look at the best potential or returns for that project. Right, some of them tengok monetary, okay, kita tak keluar duit, to the first thing ask, UT kena keluar duit ke? Tak perlu, okay. Berapa kita dapat? For example kan, 2 million. Berapa nak besar? 10 acres. Okay. Kan, 2 million for 10 acres, how much is that? Peanuts, right? Kita boleh bagi lebih daripada per square feet, how much are we supposed to give? Right now macam I buat solar, okay, I put in a solar proposal to, kita nak masuk LS3 kan. Boleh cerita lah kawan-kawan pun. Kita dah present dekat TNB kan, so nothing to hide lah. Ada tanah 300 acres dekat Bandar Penawar. I can do up to 100 megawatt. Unfortunately, our PSS approve only 40 megawatt. Kenapa? Sebab overload dekat Pasak punya integrate. 40 kan. We all know that the maximum everyone can go is 100. Everyone is going 100. Right? Some of you are going to 100. So if we do 40, we are not economical. Right? So I go into UTM, I cakap sekarang ni, aku nak lagi 60 megawatt buat kat UTM. Because I never got the approval. UTM pula problem, sama macam Nak Jenah, dia berbukit sikit. So kita buat topography study kita tak boleh sampai that 60% efficiency yang ST ada dalam tender document. So ada tanah satu tu kelapa sawit. So I told my guys, sekarang cepat-cepat kau pergi tengok harga kelapa sawit, how much return now they have, what is the yield per square acre, yield per acre, return on our kelapa sawit right now. Either we want to replant, right? So kita buatlah kajian kan, to convince LPU before pergi jumpa LPU ni. Sebab sekarang ni kelapa sawit itu dah 30 tahun. So memang kita nak panggil for replanting. I didn't want to go in lah because I know the yield is not that good. But that's the case I want to put there. If we plant kelapa sawit, how long does it take to yield? 4 years, right? 5 years, right? 3 tahun sekarang baru punya breed. Hybrid 3 tahun. Solar setahun lebih. Right? 1 year plus aku dah boleh yield. Provided ada COD lah. Right? Price, you sign REPA with TMB for a period of 21 years fixed. Right? Palm oil, tengok market lah kan. Esok turun, lusa turun lagi. Kan? Naik balik, turun balik kan. Kita pun tak tahu. There's a lot of uncertainties in palm oil. Kan? Operation, how many people do you require for palm oil? How many people require for solar? I visited UITM kat Gambang. 4 orang. Terkejut juga. 4 orang jaga. Ingat tak betul ni kan. Pergi TMB 2 orang je. Ada lagi. Yang jaga control room tu je. Dengan security guard kat luar. There's hardly any supervision required because it's all online. It's all on system. The only people doing that is to cut grass, clean that. So my FPU say, take the whole lot lah, kan, of the kelapa sawit. It's how we just justify lah kan, because itu tanah yang tak bergunung kan. So we got that land, kan. Tapi tak sempat nak masuk, so maybe area 4 kan.
Okay, Cik Kamal, thank you and congratulations for your sharing. It's a very good sharing. I just want to ask one question here regarding the preferential share that you mentioned just now. How do you fix that preferential share in order to be in compliance with the Section 112 of the Companies Act? That is solvency statement. Solvency test. And that requires that board members must produce a solvency statement based on audited. And that audited statement has to be done by auditor, a proper auditor. How did you fix that preferential share in relations to the Sections 112 Companies Act?
Okay, preference shares it depends. When you have an M&A, right? Sometimes you have that provision for you to actually have preference shares, right? So preference shares is a common practice. It's not something which is new. People use actually to have it because you don't want to disturb the initial paid up capital or the shareholding structure. You don't want to disturb that, right? So because the shares or the loans, it's actually a loan. Preference shares is a loan from existing shareholders, right? Minority shareholders who can give preference shares. Minority shareholders can give preference shares, minority can give preference shares. The dividends or the coupon depends on the shareholders' discussion. It's the board that decide. If they think that, okay, you negotiate that, okay, 3%, 4%, 5%, some audit 10% order. Some 10% order, right, depending. But normally people Yang shareholder yang bagi duit tu takkanlah nak bagi lebih daripada the commercial bank kan. Kau shareholder kan. Tapi for them is like easy lah, tak payah nak ada collateral, tak payah nak ada, because they are themselves a shareholder and they are themselves as a, in this case, majority shareholder, and they are the expert in running the business, so they know. So I have the liberty to say that okay, anything that requires additional funding has to come from, in terms, it have to come in the form of preference shares. And I already negotiated on the dividends. If in any case we are to take that preference shares, the bond coupon rate should not be more than 5%. And at 5%. Why? Because we can get from banks 5%. So agreeable. And it has to be redeemable, convertible, cumulative preferential lah, or CPS. Yeah. So redeemable means that you can redeem it later. That means when the company makes money, the loan is to the company, no, not to the shareholder. The loan is to the company. So when the company has money, then you can redeem back the shares. You don't have to pay the principal. That's the difference between loan, bank, and preference shares. Preference shares, you service the dividends. You redeem one time when you want to redeem it. You can redeem it staggerly if you want. Right? That's preference. That's the key. So KPJ has a lot of money, boleh lah kan. Bukan banyak pun you kena minta. And in the other case right now, I mean, one innovative way lah, because I told them right now, they also agree, KPJ kata. I cakap, your equipments, for example, because I tanya dia, how do you buy equipment? Dia kata, we have all these vendors. I cakap, why don't we lease it kan? Dia kata, betul juga lah. Now kita dah change the model. Now they spend, if you buy, they spend about 8 million per hospital lah. Just on hospital equipments, expensive. Lepas tu maintenance pun penat juga kan. So now even the leasing company has come up with a good package, lease. So dia tak payah pening on on equipment. Because when we offer to build the hospital, they try to put the machines on us. Kan? I mula excited juga lah, okay lah dapat supply machine kan. Sekali kan. Tapi bila tanya-tanya the market, dia kata, oh, ini lagi teruk ni. Kan? You can buy, you can make money from the machine a bit, but the maintenance part of it, because you are the lease kan dia for 30 years. Kan? Machine tahan berapa lama? Kan? 5 years you kena beli baru. Dia tak peduli. So he will try to put that on me kan. Machine cakap is niche. You know the market. It's not on us. Ours is more on the building and the structure. So I only maintain every 5 years kena cat, maintain the structure, the piping. Yeah, the FM goes back to the JVCO, which we are still there lah. Does that answer your question, Mr. Yusa? Thank you. Yes, Mark.
Hi, Encik Ahmad Kamil. I think thanks for sharing this session. I have actually quite greedy, a few 3 to 4 questions to ask you. I think number one is that you are able to source the 100% loan from the EPF, is one of the richest institution in Malaysia. So I would be interested, first I think, to know the contact person of EPF, and also the just interested to know how much is the principal loan amount actually granted by EPF to you, and also the interest they charge you per annum. That's question number one. Question number two is that you have this joint venture with KBJ, that you actually saw some funding from this trust fund manager, right? Also wanted to know what's the name of that trust fund manager. As you said that if we approach the banker, all right, to source for the fund, I think first question is they ask what is your collateral, and then secondly they say the maximum credit I'm going to give it to you is 80%. All right, forget about 90 and forget about 100. Okay, that will be helpful. And then the third question is that the you know, when you have this joint venture with KBJ, right, to build up your new hospital, I don't know whether under that new hospital you all have actually explored any like investment allowance from the Inland Revenue Board that actually could actually reduce the taxable income, and also finally the tax charge of 20% could be lower, because you are investing in a new hospital. I think that's my all my questions there.
Thank you, Mr. Mark. 20%, you think? Is it up to 20% deduction? The tax.
Yeah, the tax. Is there any incentive like you buy a machine or you build
I haven't looked at that. Because I think I left it to KPJ. But anyway, to answer your first question, was about the funding for EPF, right? Okay, I can give you the contact person. Just get it from me later. You see, EPF is not, I would say, under BAFIA, which is any other banks. So, but certain requirements are more or less the same as bank. So banks, because of BAFIA, that's why they cannot give 100%. No banks can give 100%. You are right. You are lucky if you get 90. Most banks are giving now 70 to 80% only. So for us, if we want to do 100 million development, mana nak cari 30 million? 20 million kan memang tak ada lah. Nak minta yang universiti pun tak ada. So macam mana aku nak build? How are we supposed to build it when we don't have that 10% or that 20%? University doesn't give to me 10-20%. So we have no other choice but to look for a few people who can give 100%. EPF is one. But EPF requires collateral. Right? EPF requires collateral. I pun tak ada collateral kan. Ada sikit-sikit dah, mana ada banyak. They want collateral. Problem is they want one-to-one. Kalau you nak borrow 100 million, you must have a collateral worth 100 million or more. Right? And then they require guarantee. So that's why for residency here, UTM the ones who actually took the loan, not us. Because we couldn't give for that, only UTM can give for that. And because the top management or the LPU has endorsed it, so they just go ahead and do it. And leave it to us to get the revenue, right? So that's answer the first question, right? The second one was on the financing for hospital, right? All right, the hospital is different because I told university to allow me to convince KPJ for me to build the hospital. Kan? Universiti kata okey lah, hang confident, boleh buat lah. Tapi okey, tanah 5 ekar, I cakap you tolong bayar premium tu kan? Because the premium cost me about 2.2 million. Dia kata ada to spend 2.2 million. You jangan kata okey lah, we spend 2.2 million. Lepas tu you bagi I rental lease 1,000 a year for the whole 5 acres. Dia kata, what do we get? Kan? What do you get is actually a share of the profit from the construction. I envisage we will about 6 to 7 million profit just from the construction. You take 3 million upfront. Kan? 2 years siap, you take the 3 million. Macam cakap tadi, you see dengan 3 million kan? Okay. But we have a surplus over a period of 30 years. Kan? You have a surplus of about 30 years. Continuously. I don't think KPJ will fail paying that. Because we are also 40% there. Right? So UTM setuju. Then I cakap apa lagi? UTM, you 1,000 for the 5 acres for the period of 30 years, lease. So what I'm saying is just a token, that 1,000. Just now the land is with us. But I cakap the big thing is now you have a hospital worth 220 million on your books at the end of the period. Right? It's all yours. Right? You don't have to come up with any money, it's all yours. Okay, so the financier, bank love this project because for them KPJ is bankable. Right? They love this project. But bank, ada jumpa CFO Maybank, ada jumpa dengan Maybank, I go up because I don't trust the middle one. I'm sure there's a way how we can go around it. Memang tak ada. Kan, CFO Maybank, Datuk Faisal pun kata, dia kata sebenarnya I don't decide. We have a risk committee yang decide. And risk committee has a checklist. And one of it is collateral. If you don't have collateral, they have to base it on your financial projection. which gives you a lower rating because you don't have something to back it up. It's all about rating lah dengan bank ni kan. You tak cukup, okay, cost of fund jadi tinggi, you tak ada ni, cost of fund naik lagi kan. So banks are very keen if you have 10 or 20%. 10% maybe you can get away with it lah, this KPJ business ni. I think I can get 90%. Itu pun I boleh take the land cost tu as part of my 10%. Sebenarnya boleh kan. Tapi bank boleh bagi 5.25%. The best rate to me, which is I think quite good. And why? To answer your question just now, EPF gives me to 5.25%. EPF punya rate is 5.25%. Last time is not as good as compared to commercial bank lah. Tapi sekarang punya rate, commercial bank is better. Kan? What's the best rate that you guys have got for? Anybody want to share? Please share. BM? BMS? Mozi? Farid tak ada? Ada loan banyak? BSM? Tak ada loan? Tak ada loan? Ui, cash rich man. 6.5? Oh, 6.5 million. Sure. Semua cash? Silap lah aku tanya dia. Datuk, any loans you have now? What is the best rate you get so far? Wow, that's good. 4.95 good. Tak banyak lah. Tak as much as that. 100 million at 4.95%. That's very good rate. Commercial bank. Commercial bank. Tak ada No loans. Bagus. Tak boleh tidur malam. So, anybody here? Ada loans? Tak ada. So kita tak minta. Actually kita try to ask loan from the university lah. Macam university kan. Bukan dia tak ada duit. Kan? When you talk to Bendahari now. I'm very close to Bendahari. We make sure that we are in the same line. Because Bendahari is a vital component, not component lah, it's a vital figure in the university. Dia, Dato' NC, TNCP, all these are key figures. So when you talk to Bendahari, you know he has 600 million in the bank. Right? You know that. 600 million UTM lah. Talking about UTM lah. Some other difference. Banyak gila duit kan. What do you do with it? Kan? Hang buat apa dengan lu ni? Oh tak boleh. Ini tak boleh kacau ni duit ni. Kita masuk dalam FD kan 300 million. I cakap how much do you get? Yeah, 3.94%, the most lah. What other instruments do you invest in lah kan? Tak ada semua FD. Awak semua FD kan? There are other investment you can get more than 6%, right? Or even our projects banyak yang more than return 6%. You can help us. Susah lah kita nak buat. We need MOF approval. Some of us, kena go UCAS kalau ada project financing. If we use, because their money is considered government's money. Right? Our money is our money lah kan. Kalau holding our money, tapi their money is considered government's money, and they are not willing to spend. So if somehow if we can convince, if semua orang kita boleh convince, find an idea macam mana nak convince university that where you have, maybe you can allocate 20% of your cash reserve. Yeah. Kalau you ada 600 million, 20%, you ada maybe a 20 million cash for development of whatever projects which you think relevant to the university, which can improve the facilities. We can give to holdings lah to start up. I think that would be great. I mean, that can be something which maybe consensusly we can pull up to university and tell them like, look, but of course with a viable business lah, with a low risk business lah. So this can elevate and push a lot of holdings on a cash punya holding. So kita tak banyak cash kan. Takat 1 juta, 2 juta tu kita boleh lah ada holding. More than that, I think kacau gak kita punya cash flow. But to put in 10 million, 20 million paid up capital pun goyang kan. Tapi you see, nothing for them to give us that loan. Tapi some I know some universities just does give loan to holdings. Only UTM ni payah sikit lah. dia bagi, kita kena bayar balik within 2 years, 3 years yang tu. Any other questions? Okay, or any other things you want to share? Yeah.
GDC punya amount tu. The hospital punya projek tu, GDC amount dia berapa banyak? GDC amount dia.
Okay, the first phase kita buat is 150 rooms. Kita punya GDC is 120, nearly 120 million, which includes the land.
150 beds.
150 beds. 150 beds, 90 fitted, 60 vacant. Yeah. So that's include land cost actually. So the actual construction GDC is only about 110 million.
GDC sekali dengan land cost sekali.
In this case lah. Kalau yang 120
boleh markup ya.
I memang tak nak dulu sebab I dah dapatkan that ni kan, that yield. Because macam hospital ni dia punya payment rental dia is percentage based on GDC.
Yield tu 6.5 ke 7%? Yang
6.5. That's a normal KBJ punya rental. Tapi 6.5 tu is first 6 years, and then dia naik 10% for 10% every 2 years, and then 7% every 2 years. I don't know whether everyone else get a better rate than me. I don't know. Whether please tell me lah. Ada cerita macam-macam ni, rahsia ni kan. Korang simpan tak nak cerita apa-apa, cerita lah sikit. What you guys get lah. Aku je bagi. Mana Cik? So, yeah. Yang mana?
Just now you mentioned total cost is 120 million, right? Then about, the number of beds is 150.
Yeah.
So kalau kita tengok cost per bed is about 800. But is it
lower than the industry rate lah. Industry is like 1 million per bed.
Betul.
Maybe 1.2 million per bed. So ours, as I said, the 120 tu is inclusive of the land cost lah. But because I think the infra is ready, because some of the infra is already there, you just need to pull the electrical. It's not that difficult lah, because sometimes when you build a hospital on a new land, you need to have to pull electric jauh tengah tu kan. Ours is already available lah. By right, you are right. The normal industry standard is what 1 million per bed. Yeah, that is the industry standard.
Thank you.
Why don't you guys share one? Anybody wants to share your project that you can, with the team? Cerita lah sikit rahsia. Aku seorang bagi not fair, okay? Ini macam tak fair ni kan. Cuba cerita sikit rahsia. In fact, how do you actually build, boleh lah, hospital je kan? You nak buat apa? Klinik? Apa? Your new hospital. Cerita, your new hospital. You pakai kat tanah you dekat Bangi? Dekat mana? Dekat Ceras. Is that your land? So you bought it from third party? Huh? Oh, FIC. So you lease from them? How do you lease? You buy from FLC? Belum lagi? Oh, FLC jual land tak jual, itu problem dia. Oh, that's why the collateral is with another land in when we do the collateral is with our land kat Johor, because Johor is not FIC. Johor is on our land. The land that we have in KL is FIC. When it says to FIC, you only have a lease, right, of 99 years. We have got 99 years, kita left with 97 years. Tapi kalau lease dengan FIC ni, dia banyak constraint, right? You nak boleh sublease, kena ada consent, you kena nak develop, you ada consent, kan? Dia nak ambil balik, boleh anytime, kan? A lot of uncertainty. They can take your land balik anytime, if they want lah, tiba-tiba nak buat. Sebagai contoh, kita ada 57 acres of land dekat Setapak. 57 acres of land. And we have 3,000 hostel there, occupying about 8 acres. Right? So there's a balance of 50 acres. Last year, MRT3 project. Ya, macam mana dia tahu tanah tu tanah FSC, walaupun kita dah ada title, dia nak watarkan terus jadi dia punya depo. Dia nak ambil semua tanah tu. Kan? But because if F is FLC, they can do it. Kan? Dia boleh ambil tanah tu. Tu sebab kita nak submit development plan cepat-cepat lah. Oh, EMS. Tak ada. Apa ni? Sorry. Sarawak. Tak ada sejak share apa-apa ke? John? Tak ada, John. UITM. Cerita sikit pasal ni. Ni. Pasal projek fiber lah. Mana? Bos. Oh, punya. Bagi peluang ni nak cerita punya ni. Apa ni fiber solar. Cerita sikit punya solar. COD sekarang ni punya revenue berapa sebulan?
Assalamualaikum. Okay, for our solar dekat Gambang tu, kita COD early April this year.
Actually, itu on time ke lambat?
Delay 2 bulan.
Kena bayar?
Kena bayar TNB LED close to 8 million. Tapi kita recover from contractor.
Lagi berapa?
Actually we are profitable lah when we recover from contractor to we recover more lah. Sebab there's a loss of revenue element dalam tu kan.
Loss of revenue dalam tu lah.
So when we loss of revenue tu.
Turnkey
Come again?
Kau bagi turnkey That means all delay, everything is under that.
Yes, correct. So revenue per month is about 3.3 million or so. So setahun dalam 35-36 juta lah on revenue basis. PAT quite small lah, less than 10. But from EBITDA perspective, from cash perspective, it's about 50 plus percent. 50. EBITDA perspective.
The cost is not high, right?
Yeah, the cost of maintaining is very low. Like you say lah, you went there, right? Ada 4 orang je staff.
4 orang staff, aku terkejut betul
itu memang staff kita lah. Lepas tu security guard is not our staff also, kan? Lepas tu adalah tukar-tukar potong rumput apa semua tu kan. The rest tu semua memang bukan kita punya staff lah. So cost of maintenance is really low lah actually.
So you going for the LS3?
Yes.
LS2 pun tak ada ke?
LS2 actually kita baru dapat approval daripada land office lah. Pasir Gudang. So insyaAllah kita akan commence development dalam bulan depan ni.
That one berapa megawatt?
That one is 25 megawatt. And we are also hoping to bid for the 100 megawatt lah. But that one we are doing joint venture dengan Petronas.
I think we are proud lah. Actually, I'm very impressed with UITM Solar Initiative. I think you are the second largest solar COD kot after TNB. Dia sengaja je kot, TNB nak COD dulu kan. Lepas tu dia delay you punya.
Actually the delay sebab TNB tak ada expertise untuk COD renewables. So their plan is actually the first time they COD renewable punya plan. So everyone else yang buat lepas tu semua kena queue kan.
Kena queue lah.
So they obtain dia punya expertise dulu, lepas tu dia COD dia punya plan, barulah orang lain dapat COD.
But dia punya, not to say lah kan, tapi I'm more impressed with your own structure. I don't know why your structure is like besar gila kan. You punya poles and all that is higher. TNB punya 1 feet, 1.5 feet. Grass tu macam mana you nak maintain yang cakap kan? Because it's actually crazy lah how to maintain the grass on the underneath the panel.
Yep. We make it higher because there's plan for the land downstairs. So it's not just income from solar lah.
Tanam cili.
Yeah, more or less.
Share sikit tu.
Tak boleh share kat sini dulu. Belum menjadi kan. At least solar tu dah menjadi, dah nampak solar kan. So kat bawah tu sekarang ni kalau pergi nampak tanah megah je. So we have plans lah. So technically is solar.
How much was the total investment for 50 megawatt?
Total about 278 million.
278 million. All in,
80%. All in lah. All in. 80% from Sukuk at 525 if I'm not mistaken.
5.25
525.
So the bridging loan comes from Afin Bank?
Tak, memang Sukuk start from the start.
Oh, Sukuk from the start?
Sukuk
macam
from
mana
the
dia
start.
bagi from the start? Tu nak faham tu.
Itu pun agak magic jugalah sebenarnya kan.
Jarang sukuk dia bagi from the start.
Yes.
Mesti ada bridging dulu.
Actually for our LSS2 dia tak from the start. So LSS2 kita buat contract leasing dengan contractor. So contractor bill and then contractor transfer. Then only sukuk start.
Some money from UITM before.
Yes.
So you use
that 20% tu from UITM lah. So UITM is quite supportive of the initiative. Sebab that capital of 60 million capital tu UITM yang pump kan.
Ada kan.
So it's very supportive lah.
So macam mana you convince UTM? Web lah, Dato' Web.
Yes. Is dia lah yang
convincing tu quite good juga.
Memang very convincing lah.
Memang dia boleh convince.
Sebab actually solarnya financials is quite fixed lah, so to say. Quite secured, and then your contract is 21 years. Your share life for your equipment is 25 years.
So what's your risk for solar? What's your risk? I mean, what's the risk when you want to in solar lah?
The risk is
tolak lah natural disasters semua.
Yes, natural disasters, and then erosion lah actually.
Erosion.
Erosion.
Maintenance, erosion tu je lah.
Yes, maintenance, erosions, and then you need to have a site that, you know, macam our site ada history of flooding. So we had to do a flood control punya system kat dalam tu, kena ada river bagai, kena ada pond dia semua siap kat situ lah.
So what are your advice on what not to do
for solar?
For solar, or mistakes that you have gone through, maybe you tell, okay, do like this. What would you do differently lah? You think?
We do differently. I think erosion control tu during construction we start at that point of time tu kita dah start. We start early on erosion control rather than we wait everything dah siap baru kita nak buat erosion control.
I see.
Sebab otherwise your cost to do erosion control will be triple in a blink of an eye lah.
Oh, okay. Actually, that's the thing first lah.
Yes.
So your structure must be correct.
Structure must be correct. The moment your structure naik je, then you start with your erosion control punya plan.
So if you're going for 100 megawatt LS3, that means it's a good business to go lah.
Yeah, it is a good business. It is a good business. Cuma sekarang ni government dah kurang bagi kan. So I think this LSS3 is the last one if I'm not mistaken.
Doktor masih with you? Siapa? Doktor apa? Natame. Natame still?
Yes, he's still there.
Tuan Kamil, saya nak tanya sikit. Kalau boleh bantu kita lah. This project is done by UITM straight or it has been awarded to third party contractor ke macam mana?
Construction is by a third party contractors. Tapi O&M, operational maintenance, kita buat internal lah. So while
kita
they are
holding ke universiti?
Holding.
Okay, because sekarang ni under the new government there's an implication. Because contractor selection is not like before. Kita boleh runding dan boleh assign. Sekarang ni is not as easy as. I mean because of this change of government government policy basically kan. So what is your advice if you want to do like what you did under the current situation? Because it's not as straightforward like before, and also it involves also UKAS because your project is for 21 years. So it is beyond university's authority. Thank you.
JV with the big names. That's why for our LSS3 kita JV dengan Petronas. So we don't do ourselves. So Petronas carry a bigger brand, a bigger walaupun shareholding dia slightly more je majority tu, tapi they carry a bigger brand, bigger infra, better team kan. So it's easier. There's people like Malakoff, you know.
It's like they invited UITM, not you invited them. Is it something like that?
Yes, actually they really want to do the project. So but because we have that LSS 1 and 2 and they also have one, and for LSS 3 you actually have to one of the conditions is you actually have to have minimum 2 already COD plan to bid for LSS 3. So if you have a land, if you want to do solar, find a partner that already have if you don't have. Sebab kalau tak, you disqualified immediately. So that's why one of the reason both party agree to marry with each other tu sebab Petronas ada satu, kita ada satu. So ngam lah dua.
Thank you. Because we at UUM is in the final process of coming out with RFP on solar. Tu yang kata tengah. My office is we want to do both farming and rooftop.
I think for rooftop less stringent, right? In terms of regulations and whatnot, it's easier to get rooftop project up on the go daripada a power plant.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you.
32.4. You used to get 39, right? Aziza dia beritahu 39 the phase 1. LS2 apa? Lower bid. 35 je tu kan. Now 32.4. Imagine. But of course, definitely if you have 100, you can do lower than 30. But the margin is not the last time lah. The margin is not the last time. So what I'm saying is, it's not easy lah to win the industry. You have to work with the best of the best lah. And you have to beat the best price. But what is there on our plate? What else can we do on solar? It's a very good question when you do self-consumption. I mean, now I'm even moving towards self-consumption and also NEM, right? Because those are not required for bidding. We don't need to bid. You know, when I check with SEDA, dia kata tak ada lagi universiti yang apply. I'm quite surprised. UTM punya electric bill dekat Skudai 25 million a year. I told UTM, you paying 25 million a year. And I'm sure most of universities have the same rate as us. I still don't understand why we pay 50 cents. Anybody paying less than 50 cents? University. It's 50 cents. Huh? 36 and a half. Yeah, our residency 36 and a half. It's actually commercial, but it's lower than what university is paying. Our university 50 cents. Right? So kita bid gila babi nak bid for sini kan. You have 25 million, we can do up to 70% self-consumption, betul? They allow 70%, kan? On maximum demand, correct. But kat Skudai alone, we can do easily 15 megawatt based on the maximum demand, 70%. On rooftop or on the land. And you can save a lot of money lah. If we are bidding for 30 cents, imagine if university is paying 50 cents, and if I offer them 40 cents, so they will grab it. Kan? 10 cents per kilowatt hour savings is a lot of money for university. So that's I think I would like to suggest all of us go for that immediately. If we want to have maybe Dato', I suggest if we can arrange a meeting with SEDA, get briefing from them on how we can actually do, and all of us holdings propose to university. Because there are dua though, I'm not sure the difference between self-consumption and NEM. Because now net metering is not the last time. Net metering, because the last time we met with SEDA was 4 months ago when we find out, because I find out about the new minister announced that now it's 1-to-1. So I was saying, 1-to-1 is good. Kan? It's 1-to-1. Now, whatever you produce, you get the same rate. And you can actually, get a lot of funding from it. Now, a lot of companies are, G-Spark, you can talk to Detroit, you can talk to BSL, you can talk to many solar providers yang willing to finance for you and give you at 36 cents. Right? Then you can share the difference between you and university. You can sell at university at 40 cents. Immediately right now, if you want that project, you can talk to all these companies. You see, you're paying 50 cents, right? Why don't you buy from me at 40 cents? Kan? You tekan yang supplier tu at 36 cents. Kan? Contohlah. So those are and you sign for 21 years, why not? University is paying TNB anyway, kan? Might as well pay you. Padahal lah daripada nak bergaduh, dah confirm UiTM 6, kan? Dengar-dengar Tuan Syed pun dia punya PMU 500 meter, aku dah terduduk lah kan. 500 meter kan. I cakap, then, because I dah lah buat 40 megawatt. Kan? I have to do Lilo, you know. When you do Lilo, because my PMU is that I can only take to a certain extent dia single bus bar. So that's the issue. So single bus bar tak boleh ambil. It cannot connect to the national grid. So I have to do Lilo. So Lilo I have to purchase. Tanah pula 2 ekar. So there's a lot of cost involved lah kan. So for him to have 500 meters direct to PMU, but it's not his land. Jadi pula isu dia tak confirm on the land status. It's a government land, so he has to. That's why I cakap you better sign quickly before you submit, because people change their mind once you win. Kan sebelum you menang lain cerita kan, bila you dah menang kan dah lain cerita dah, lain pula rental rate dia. So those are the things that you need to do lah. But congratulations lah to UiTM. I think you have done you are the leader lah. And for UC Awam in the solar, we can learn a lot from you. Maybe one of these days you jemput lah, kita pergi ramai-ramai tengok you win solar. Kan? Nak juga tengok? Dah pergi tengok dah kan. I think it's impressive lah.
Tunggu dia cantik sikit.
Training center dah siap?
Mungkin?
Training center.
Dah siap dah.
Ni semua tipu kan. Nak dapat. Itu you convert dah?
Mungkin?
You convert the land?
Tak, land masih industrial, tapi
masih?
Institutional, sorry. Institutional.
Tapi
quick rent dengan assessment is at commercial rate.
Oh really?
Yes, premium kita tak bayar. Premium kita
Why
tak.
Why is it on industrial rate?
Sebab land office is saying that it's actually for commercial because you have contract with TNB and whatnot semua tu. So they allow for the land to be maintained at institutional because you have the research center and whatnot. Tapi quick rent assessment you have to pay at commercial.
Oh, there's an important point.
I lupa nak add. To add.
But
if you have 2, 3, 4 solar, there is also a chance that you might have to convert.
Because kita ada banyak advantage tau. Because kita ni online kena beli tanah satu hal. Kan? Kena convert to commercial. Kita ada ruang tak payah convert to commercial. Kita letak research center je walaupun tak beroperasi. Aku pun sama. Bentang dekat PTD Kulai kan. Tengok zoning institution. Memang zoning institution kan. Dia buka buku dia, zone institution mana dia buat solar ni LS3 commercial. Tak ada, kita buat research. Kan, nama pun Universiti Research Center. Padahal LS3, dia pun tahulah bukan dia bodoh kan. Tapi they are willing to help. So dia kata okay lah, you buat research center, you tak payah convert jadi commercial. Tapi other players doesn't have that liberty. So memang kita have a very good chance of winning if we have the right partners.
Your leverage,
yeah.
Your leverage to discuss with the other players if you want to partner.
Okay. Noted. So actually kita ada banyak advantage lah. Sayang kalau kita ada tanah, I think tak tahu lah. It's a very good machine. Because kita ada banyak loss cost yang kita tak ada. Premium banyak tau kalau nak beli. I met with the Gading Kencana, Datuk Guntur, very one of the main player in the solar industry. Dia beli tanah tu kat Bido. I was surprised. Cakap, you go beli. He has to pay for it, and yet he still make money. Dah lah, dia beli, dia buat lilo kat. So, and he has to convert it to commercial. So kita dah tak payah convert, tanah pun free. Kalau tanah kita lah, for you see kan. So there's a lot of advantage lah. So if we have the right partner, I'm sure we can win. Kalau kalah agak tak tahu lah cerita kan. Sebenarnya lah kalau tengok competition, that's why ramai people like Petronas. We met with Petronas also. Petronas Renewable Energy. But for us it's new. Sebab kita orang pun tak ada apa. Lebih kurang sama walaupun you have a brand name. Macam you lain, you ada something. So there was not so I have to get somebody who has a more. Malakah wanted to do their own lah because they want majority. The big names wants majority. That's the problem with the big names. Sometimes they always want majority. Kita pun nak majority kan. So it's important to actually have majority when we want to do business. I always believe we need a controlling stake. If the land is ours, if we think we can do it, if we have the expertise, why not we hold majority? Why kita mentality kita ni tak payah keluar duit tak apalah, tapi you ambil lah majority. See, the last thing we want to do is to become a broker tanah. I hate that. Kan macam kita tak nak, of course. Macam that's what most university do. I always try to explain to them that you have to look at the most potential return of income for you. Kan, if you get 2 million for 10 acres, gila ke? Kan, baik bagi kat I bayar tu kan. For example, because you can get much more than that, right? Oh, tak payah keluar duit. Kan? Memang tak payah keluar duit. Kan? But if you keluar duit, why not if you get it, if you get the return, right? Dia kata macam pelik ke how they think, but that's why sayanglah rugi. It becomes like broker, they tie up with third party company, lease it for 60 years, tanah habis tak boleh buat apa. Then they cavate the land just for that small return. Kan? Salah satu 103 acres. University rented to a company to do industrial park for just 1.5 million a year. For the rest of 60 years. I went to Seminary and cakap, you have to be joking. I cakap. Have you heard of inflation rate? Kan? Have you heard of net present value or not? You count back lah. Kan? Even you put at 8% present value, the next 20 years, that 1.5 million means nothing to you. Cakap. Kan? It means nothing. Kan? Aku cakap, I'm short of going to SPRM. But for me, it's crazy decisions that you guys make sometimes. So our job as holdings, I think we have to take the responsibility as a leader, not as to lead the organisation, and to actually, as a professional, also to encourage university to make better decisions. Kita pun better decision for the company, so that we can actually have a better future lah for university, so that kita boleh contribute more and kita boleh give more better sustainability for the university. So I think that's all for today. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Encik Ahmad Kamil, for sharing all the cards on your sleeve. So let us give him a big round of applause.